Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Sunday, September 20th, 2020. If you're not subscribed to me on GematriaEffectNews, my main channel, again, I know every time I do something on Gematria Effect Sports, you guys are like, man, I've been waiting 3 weeks for a video. You guys, I'm putting out videos, plural, every single day on Gematria Effect News. I talk about sports. If you're not subscribed over there, you're missing my main channel. And this morning I did a big discussion about the Week 2 NFL games and what the ritual was with this week following the ritual that they did with Week 1, which we've already talked extensively about, and how the same publication that told us last year would be the year of the black quarterback and told us it was going to be all about Black History Month, which they were right on. This year they said the era of the black quarterback is officially underway. And today was an NFL record, the most black quarterbacks facing each other in games in league history. We talked about this morning. We'll come back to it. But again, I want people to understand that the power of this knowledge not only allows you to escape the matrix and see through the rigging, but it allows you to make something back from it. And there's a lot of people who followed me for a lot of years. And again, I don't want to make this about gambling, but there's a lot of people who followed me for a lot of years, and their life is a lot different because they began following this work, researching it, listening to what I was teaching, and how now have applied it in stock markets, in day trading, in rig sports, and they are benefiting. And again, we have a lot of really good days decoding sports and seeing what the rigged outcomes are. Occasionally we have a bad day, and it's because we see what a riddle is, but we get on the wrong side of that riddle. That happens sometimes. We have a lot of really good days, and just ask around for the people on my Patreon right now. There's trolls that harass every day, but we have been dominating lately. And we had another dominant day today. And it started with Thursday Night Football, which was a gimme riddle. And I'm just going to show you guys how these games are rigged and the things we look for. So the Bengals at the Browns. We saw that Zach Taylor, the coach of the Bengals, came in with 2 wins and 15 losses. So we said, look at that. He loses. He has 2 wins, 16 losses. Cleveland, the 216 area code. Those riddles always come through for Cleveland. Sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Plus, not only that, but Mayfield got his 13th career win, and he became 4-1 versus Cincinnati, and 13-41 both correspond with the gematria of TNF, 41-13. These numbers are big every week on TNF. The rituals. Last week, my followers hated me because I said the safest pick of the week was the Bears, and they did win, and they were underdogs, and they were a good payout, and they won. But they were down and had to score 21 straight points in the fourth quarter to win. Just like today, I like Dallas to win, and Dallas gave my followers a heart attack, but they won. And we'll get to the Dallas game. Just like this morning, I gave everybody the clue for free. I said, if you do the research between the black quarterbacks today, there's a certain game where a team can become 10-2 if they win on the day leaving 102 days left in the year, the number associated with black history. And sure enough, the Ravens beat the Texans today, becoming 10-2. And we'll get to why. That was the big thing we talked about this morning on Gematria Effect News. But again, last week the Bears had a great narrative to win over the Lions, and they did in a major, unlikely comeback on the day of the rigged on the day of the rigged no-hitter, also in Chicago. But last week, Week 1, Trubisky got his 24th career win, 24 days after his birthday, beating the Lions. Lions equals 24. Solid riddles like that come through again and again and again and again and again and again. And we also saw that if he won this week, he'd get his 25th win over the Giants. And Giants put out 25 all the time. Trubisky wins today. He gets his 25th career win. So Gematria can really help you see winners and losers. Where the spreads are, you have to be careful because that's where Vegas beats people. But if you have the winners and you put parlays together, you can hit consistently. And people do in this community. Most people call parlays a bad investment, a poor way to gamble. But people in the Gematria community make a fortune off parlays. And that's a fact. So anyway, the Bears win today. Trubisky gets his 25th win over the Giants. Giants 25. Daniel Jones falls to 2-5 away. Plus he fell to 3-11. Daniel Jones. 3-11's the 64th prime. Soldier Field 64. New York Giants 64. Strong riddle. Bears win. Falcons at Cowboys. A big number with Dallas Sports is 49. By the way, person in this community who's learned this knowledge from me and now uses it on the NHL, he said before the playoffs begun, Dallas would be in the Stanley Cup. He liked them to win it. We liked Dallas to win Game 1. We liked the Tampa Bay Lightning to advance on 17/9 because Tampa Bay Lightning's 179, Buccaneers is 179, and they're doing all these 179 riddles with the Rays that we're killing. Again, this knowledge pays. But anyway, we like the Falcons to fall to 4-9 at Dallas because Dallas is 49, NFL's 49, America's 49, NFL America's game, America's team. So the Falcons falling to 4-9 at Dallas made too much sense. And there's a gentleman in the community hit on a real-time bet today because he saw that Dallas paid a fortune to come back, and he believed in the 4-9 riddle. So you can win again in real-time betting. But we like Dallas today. Again, I write what I think for each game. And the Lions and the Packers, 2 weeks in a row, the same type of thing with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was coded to win and lose, and this happens, and it can be tough. But we saw with Stafford could get his 84th career loss, and Green Bay Packers is 84. So it made sense for Stafford to get his 84th loss and Rodgers to get the win. Plus, it showed us something about next week's game with Rodgers, if he won today. The Jaguars at the Titans. We like the Titans to win because the Jaguars in 77 plays hard. Jaguars equals 77. We saw that Minshew could fall to 7-7. Last week, we liked the Jaguars to win. Last week, if you bet 100 on the Jaguars, they paid 300. We liked it because we saw Minshew could become 4-3 at home and give Phillip Rivers, I believe, his 43rd away loss. And Jacksonville's 43, Florida's 43, football's 43. You got Tom Brady at age 43 playing in Florida. Week 1, he goes down. We liked Breeze to beat him last week. The numbers were completely there. And meanwhile, his replacement in New England, Cam Newton, gets his 43rd career win over the Dolphins. Dolphins equals 43, like Florida, like football. Big 43 ritual. Today, Drew Lock fell to 4-3 as a starter. Colorado 43. Next week, he'll host the 43-year-old Tom Brady with a 4-3 record. Again, the way they script this stuff. But anyway, Minshew falls to 7-7. Jaguars 77. And the notes, 77, a good number for the Jags. And again, understand we had a live stream where we talk about this. Colts and Vikings. We liked Phillip Rivers to get his 69th career home win today and his first win with the Colts on the 69 date numerology when Colts equals 69. And the Colts dominated today. Again, we write for each game. I like the Rivers picking up his 69th win on the 69 date for the first W with the Colts. Colts 69. Boom. Bills Dolphins. The only thing that was clear in this game was that if the Bills won this week, McDermott would get his 27th win, Miami's 27. And we also saw what could happen to Fitzpatrick if he went on a little losing streak here. So sometimes you have to look a few games ahead. What happened? Bills won. 49ers and Jets. We look down the schedule. It looks like the 49ers got some nice alignments coming. 49ers were a big favorite today. They cruised. The riddle looked good for them. Now, something that I've learned from last year, because again, like I've always told you guys, I'm a student of my own work. I'm always trying to learn more. The games where I miss, I'm trying to figure out what I'm missing. There's a missing element. And with the Rams and Eagles game this year I saw what I wouldn't have saw last year. And I had a feeling that Goff would get the win today because it was his 56th career game, and the score of this game was 37-19, 56 points, number of the year. But here's what I saw for Goff. So normally I would have just zeroed in on this. I would have saw that Goff could get his 22nd loss because Eagles is 22, and normally those kind of riddles with the Eagles are good. But again, there's no perfect riddles I've discovered in this. There's numbers that come through all the time, like I told people if the Dodgers won yesterday, they would lose today and they'd be a good payout today. The Dodgers did lose today. Why did I say that? Because if the Dodgers lost, they'd stay on 38 wins for the year. Colorado equals 38. It's the 38th state. Colorado Rockies 163, the 38th prime. Done deal. Dodgers stay on 38. Big upset, good payout. Also, today, Yankees pick up their 22nd loss of the season. Boston equals 22. Basketball 22. Boston, the basketball city. 22 again and again with that city. Yankees get the 22nd loss. Today, I told my people at the beginning of the week when we reviewed last Sunday's game, I said Baltimore plays well on Sundays. They beat the Rays next week on Sunday. They'll be 6-3 on Sundays. Rays equals 63. Major League 63. Major League Baseball 63. So again, this stuff applies across all sports. Dallas wins their playoff series 4-1. Dallas 41. Tampa Bay Lightning 179, the 41st prime. They advance on 17/9. Math, riddles, numbers. It's right in your face if you have a little processing power in your brain. But anyway, this is what I knew this year. And so last year I would have got this game wrong. And by the way, we've been killing Rams-Eagles series in recent history. But I told my people to lay low, even though I thought Goff had the Jesuit Catholic riddle here in his 56th game. So look, it was Goff's 56th game. Look up the score. It was 37-19. Or I'll just put it up here. Rams box score. 37-19. Los Angeles equals 37. Brian equals 37. Kobe dead on the 37-year anniversary of Bear Bryant. Kobe from Philly, an Eagles fan, 56 points. Corona Del Mar, where he's buried, 56. Society of Jesus, 56. And this was the riddle with Goff. I saw that if he won, he'd get his 35th win and stay on 21 losses. Catholic is 35. Like the only Catholic president today, it's number 35, JFK. When you run Catholic in reverse, it's 46. If Biden becomes the 46th president, he'll be the second Catholic. JFK was assassinated at age 46, and the election November 3rd is exactly 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday. Catholic equals 46, 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament. But anyway, Catholic also 35. We saw that Goff would become 35-21 with a win. Catholic 35, Jesuit 21, Sunday 21. And again, the 56th game, Society of Jesus 56. Who are the Jesuits? So I said we're going to learn something if the Jesuit riddles trump the normal riddles. Because I have a feeling this is what I've been missing over the years. Like where certain games, it's like, how did that not come through? It's probably been because it's stuff like this with the Jesuit numbers is superseding it. Because again, I've known for all these years the Jesuits run it, but I didn't realize how much they were coding their own numbers into the sports rituals, which really in hindsight I feel like I should have figured out longer ago. But, and again, it's just like a couple weeks back, 2-3 weeks back, I called it Super 78 Sunday, Super Jesuit Sunday, because Jesuit 78, Sunday is also 78. Again, look at how Jesuit and Sunday overlap. Jesuit, Sunday, they're the exact same in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. And again, if you're new here, Gematria, it's based on all 4 ciphers. I'll show you how they all matter here in just a second. But Sunday and Jesuit, the exact same in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. Alphabetic order, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, E is 5, up to Z, the 26 letters, 26. Next cipher is the alphabetic order with the rules numerology. So that just means you make each letter a single-digit number. So for example, Z, the 26th letter, in numerology, 26 is 2 plus 6 is 8. So Z would be 8. Y, the 25th letter, would be 2 plus 5 is 7. X, the 24th letter, would be 2 plus 4 is 6. X is 6. XXX is 666, the number of the beast. Where do you normally see that number? But anyway, Sunday and Jesuit, the exact same in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. The other 2 ciphers are just the alphabetic order in reverse, the alphabetic order in reverse with the rules of numerology. Now, John Thompson just died the other day, on other Sunday, which was a date with 78 numerology at age 78, and he coached at Georgetown, the nation's first Jesuit university in D.C., and he was the first black coach to win the championship in 84. And then the next year was the first March Madness in 85, and the reason they did it in 85 is because basketball's 85. Boston's 85-22, like basketball's 85-22, and they lead the Lakers with 17 championships, the Lakers having 16, but this year's LeBron's 17th season. And what did I say when LeBron signed with the Lakers on 1-7, July 1st, 1-7, like 17, NBA 17? I said, watch, his 16th season will be a disappointment. 17th season, he'll be in King James form. This year that he's dominating. But basketball, 85. The other thing that's 85 is Jesus Hominum Salvator, the Jesuit motto. And the first March Madness was in 85. The Catholic school of Villanova beat the Jesuit school of Georgetown. And you start to look at pro athletes, you start to realize how many went to Catholic high schools, Jesuit high schools, universities. It's overwhelming. And this whole code of letters and numbers behind the English language is the work of the Jesuits in the 16th century. They've been operating with this for this long. And you see this Jesuit motto, Jesus Hominum Salvator? Bill Belichick just started the year with his 274th win, and then his mother died at 98. Remember, Patriots is 98, New England Patriots 98, Tom Brady 98. And she died the exact same day that Bill Gates' father died. And this week, the Patriots play Seattle, Bill Gates City. And Bill Gates' full name equals William Henry Gates 201. He was one of the main sponsors of Event 201, the coronavirus outbreak simulation, October 18, 2019, the same day the military World Games began in Wuhan, China, which equals 102, the reflection of 201, like the Spanish flu was 102 years ago, which they compared it to in that simulation, and the media now compares it to. But anyway, Bill, Belichick, Gates, and by the way, Bill Gates' father just died at 94, and this isn't a joke, but... Again, my new book, which has been out, that had been getting shipped to people in order, that I wrote way before Bill Gates' dad died, I wrote about 2 numbers with Bill Gates' dad. 94, and 258. He died at age 94 on the 258th day of 2020. And I wrote about those numbers because they're so important to the Gates family, which I explained in the book. And again, anyone can read this book and verify it. Number games, 9/11 to coronavirus. It covers a lot. It covers everything about Kobe's death. You guys think I've done my best work on Kobe in some of these videos? You should see what's in this book. Took it to a whole new level. And again, everything I wrote about in the book is already more validated by all the news stories that have come out. I finished writing this at the beginning of August. But anyway, Belichick got his 274th win to start the season. Again, Jesuit tributes. Pope Francis is the first Jesuit pope. Again, their motto is Jesus Hominum Salvator. He's the 266th pope. Pope Francis equals 122. Pope Francis also 59. The pope before him stepped down on the 59th day of the year to make way for Francis. And there's so much more to explain about it. But anyway, this is the code. And just to understand how the ciphers work, the first game of the season. The Chiefs and the Texans. Keep in mind, first of all, once upon a time there was a Dallas Texans who folded and became the Kansas City Chiefs. So this year we open with the Texans and the Chiefs. You got number 15 versus number 4. Number 4 on the Texans is a black quarterback. Number 4 on Dallas, Dak Prescott. There's a parallel. Cowboys and Indians. History. Dallas Texans, Kansas City Chiefs, Houston Texans. So I think you get the point I'm making. But that game, the score was 20-34, right? 20-34 was the score. Chiefs won 34-20 over the Texans. Notice Texans equals 20 and 34. That's 54 combined points. That game was 54 days before the election. We said the Chiefs were going to win the Super Bowl, and we showed how it was synced up with the election and the impeachment before the game was even played, with Mahomes going to White House High School in Texas, and now I'm starting the season against the Texans. But anyway, 20 and 34 were the score. Andy Reid got his 83rd win with the Chiefs, and 79 is the 22nd prime. 22% of fans were allowed to attend, and the Chiefs became 2-2 at home in the regular season against the Texans, who they had a losing record to at home up to that point. Regular season. So, again, when you know these Gematria numbers, it allows you to see the riddles on the board. It allows you to take advantage of real-time situations because you recognize, the amount of points a team's on and how it's symbolic and what an overall score is. In real time, there's over-under bets like, is there going to be another point in this game? Is there going to be another score? Sometimes be having this knowledge, you're like, oh my God, if they kick a field goal, it's going to be the number we talked about all before the game. Sure enough, the field goal, and the person's like, feeling like a genius. Because it's all rigged and scripted this way. You want to continue to deny it? It's too bad. We've been proving it for how many years straight? Calling championships from the start of season. How many years? Year after year. Now, the Broncos and Steelers game, I wasn't crazy about this game. I told people the Broncos have a narrative to potentially win and surprise, but it didn't feel right because Von Miller's out, they're banged up, the Steelers are solid at home. But the Steelers were a big favorite, and the Broncos did cover, and that's where the smart money was, because so often when these riddles are really tight, the games are tight as well. And the thing for the Broncos, and again, what I told people last night when we finished our live stream is I said, if he loses and falls to 4-3 to host 43-year-old Tom Brady in Colorado, where Colorado's 43, so is Florida, so is football. I said, you can just see that up on the screen. Drew Lock, his stats, next to a picture of Tom Brady, 43 years old. That's how they do it once you start to pay attention. You're like, wow, they really are putting these numbers in your face. But the chance for the Broncos, though, is they actually had a winning record in Pittsburgh going into this game. They're now even. They came in 7-6. 7-6, right? The Broncos, with a winning record in Pittsburgh, the Broncos led 7-6. So if they won, they would have been 8-6. And things like this can be iffy because sometimes there's riddles on the board that don't look bad, but they don't come through, and you have to kind of fill those out and say things like what I just said. Like, okay, the Broncos are banged up. They don't have their best player. They're playing a good team on the road. So it's like, any given Sunday rule isn't a fact when they script them that way. But oftentimes in a close riddle with a big dog, that team will cover, and the Broncos covered today, which means they had to lose by 7 or less. And they did that. I think they lost by 5. But So the thing was, had they won, they would have been 8-6 at Pittsburgh, and Broncos equals 86. And from the Steelers' perspective, they'd be 6-8 against Denver, and Denver 68. And understanding these patterns is lucrative because a lot of times if that riddle's on the board and it does feel right, you know that's a good go-to. And for example, we just used that in a big way throughout the playoffs with Denver and the way they structured the playoffs because they're doing all the riddles this year through the NBA bubble and coronavirus and King James. It's hilarious. And to date, my favorite riddle in the NBA bubble is, understand, NBA bubble's 56, coronavirus 56. Remember, Rudy Gobert was blamed for it. 56 days after his birthday, he was the leading scorer, leading the Jazz to a record of 5-6 in the bubble. It was hilarious. And once we saw that was it, we were like, okay, so the Jazz win today. They're 5-6 in the bubble. Okay, that's happening. And that game was a good game. The payout was good on that game. So, again, the knowledge pays. Now, the Panthers and Bucks, this was also tricky. Sometimes they can be tricky. Tampa Bay was a big favorite, and I do believe they covered. And again, okay, I'm going to pause before I come to this game and talk about something real quick, and then I'm going to come back. So again today, before the Undefeated put out this story, who we now follow for sports narratives because they give away the script, as we learned the last season, totally, perfectly. So we're following them, and yesterday in our live stream when we decoded the football games, we talked about how it was the day leaving 102 days left in the year, and they were going to have more black quarterbacks play black quarterbacks than ever before. And it matters that it's the day leaving 102 days left in the year because slavery's 102, the N-word's 102. So many rituals done with this number. About a month and a half back, there was a detail that came out in the Ahmaud Arbery killing. Might have been further back than that. Time flies. But a story came out that recording picked up that Ahmaud Arbery was called the N-word just before he was killed. They put out that story 102 days after his supposed death. You just see how they make up this stuff to provoke people by the numbers. They rig the news this way. They rig the sports this way. It's like a matrix to suck people in and, make them get mad over their sports game and get mad over the news and just like, how is this possible? It's just like, I'm trying to help people escape from that, really. And that's the problem with gambling, is when you gamble, then you become emotionally invested in that matrix, which is the downside. But some people are paying the bills with it, so all things good and bad. Just to have balance. But anyway, just so many things with this 102. George Perry Floyd 102, we said before. We said the day that the George Floyd video came out that it was an obvious psyop synced up with the upcoming sports season. Colin Kaepernick. I talked about this stuff at length this morning in the video we did. But again, George Perry Floyd 102, the American Civil War began April 12, 1861, the 102nd day of the year. After the George Floyd protests, Civil War statues came down all over the nation. George Perry Floyd also equals 201, Confederate 201. The Catholic Church bought up Washington, D.C. in 1871 after the Civil War and made it an independent city-state that now still rules over us. But notice when you also write out week 2, which it is in the NFL, it's the same as slavery in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. And you see how slavery's 42? That was another reason I like the Cowboys today. Dak Prescott, which equals 42, got his 42nd career win today on the day leaving 102 days left in the year. So I thought with the black versus white quarterback narrative there, and everything else, the 4-9 record like we talked about, I thought that was one of the things that looked good for Dak, and it was looking bad at the end of the game. I had a guy who texted me a screenshot saying, how he was looking to make all this money except for it was going to be blown because of the Dallas game, and he thought it was all but over. He's like, look how close that was. Dallas killed me. Well, guess what? Dallas came back in a miracle fashion, and he had a big payday. But anyway, these riddles, they're so sick, you guys. And remember, last week, Thursday night, the first game of the season, Texans and Chiefs. Remember, Houston's the 112 city. Houston's 112. They put, watch when I write Andrew Luck, who played his high school ball in Houston. His father was on the Oilers, Oliver Luck. His father became a CEO of the XFL. Andrew Luck left the NFL like the same week. But Andrew Luck played his high school ball in Houston. The symbol on the Colts helmet, horseshoe. I'll show you how all this comes together. Horseshoe 112, Houston 112. Even Andrew Luck's mother's name is Kathy Luck, which is 112, which is weird. But Houston's the 112 city. Hardin's 112. A lot of rituals with Houston and 112. But Chiefs is also 112. Remember, Super Bowl's 112. At the beginning of the year, the story we decoded before last season began, where we said it looks like the Chiefs are the most likely team to win the Super Bowl after the Thursday night game. They'd coded 112 in the headline, a picture of Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. But remember, The Rock bought the Chiefs in the final season of Ballers in the episode that was 112 days before the Super Bowl in New Orleans, where LSU won the college championship. The construction crane fell, or the building fell at the Hard Rock in New Orleans 112 days before the Super Bowl in Hard Rock Stadium. And anyway, the first Thursday night game was on the day leaving 112 days left in the year. Again, Houston's 112, Chiefs is 112, Super Bowl's 112, Thursday night football is 112. And what was different about that game was how they played the Black National Anthem, and Black National Anthem is 112. Now, understand, these four ciphers are all part of one system. There's more to the other numbers on the screen I can be talking about, but I'm just trying to get you to clue into one thing and realize these things are improbable to continue to be coincidences. The last Lakers and Houston series, we had Houston winning game one and losing the next four games, exactly how it went out. If I remember right, the game that Houston won, game one, they scored 112 points. They do it a lot. These are rituals, scripted to the point, technology used in basketball to ensure outcomes. But anyway, they're doing these major race-related rituals. And don't forget that first game for the season was on a date with 59 numerology. Slave is 59, Negro 59, Rasta 59, Blues 59. Again, Motown came out on 59. Black History Month ends on the 59th day of the year. Part of the reason I also liked Mahomes to win today is how it sets up a potential 59 riddle in his game next week against Lamar Jackson. Patrick Mahomes, I'll just tell you this, and I have to do more research, so don't get ahead of yourselves, but Patrick Mahomes became 25-7 in the regular season, the first game on Thursday Night Football. Thursday Night Football, 257. 257 is the 55th prime. He became 25-7 to start the regular season. And we saw if he won today, he'd be 26-7. If he won his next game, he'd be 27-7, and 277 is the 59th prime. And a lot of rituals with those numbers, 277 and 59. So Chiefs, Ravens will be a very hype game next week, and I have to do a little bit more research on it, but that 59 thing is there with Mahomes, if he's the chosen one. And if you listen to today's earlier live stream, somebody called in and said they think he's the chosen one because he's got the lightest skin. And with all the racism in the NFL and the way they rig it, that could be part of it. But anyway, this Panthers and Buccaneers game. So the Panthers on the surface had a riddle to upset, but then we saw that they could lose the 10th straight game going back to last season, and we identified that that would be a pattern this year. The Chiefs began the year by winning their 10th straight game. And the reason that matters is it's the year of Super Bowl 55. 55 is the 10th triangular number and the 10th Fibonacci number. Triangular numbers mean if you add 1 through 10 together, it equals 55. The Fibonacci sequence is where you say two numbers, and then that produces the next number, and then the last two numbers in the sequence produce the next number. So it goes 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55. That's the 10th Fibonacci number. So the next number would be 89, because the last two numbers are 34 and 55. So 34 plus 55 equals 89. The next number would be 144. 55 plus 89 is 144, which has a square root of 12, and 144 happens to be the 12th Fibonacci number. And so again, this is a significant mathematical pattern that's found in nature. And so anyway, we saw that the Panthers could lose the 10th straight. And by the way, let me also tell you this before we move on about this Panthers and Bucks game. So where did I put it at? Okay, so last week something we noticed before the games were played, because this article came out to start the season saying how the era of the black quarterback's officially underway. And again, last year before the season began, they called it the year of the black quarterback. And they coded the number 93, which equates with Black History Month. And the article had a picture of Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. And on the first day of Black History Month, Lamar Jackson became league MVP. And on the second day of Black History Month, Mahomes became Super Bowl MVP. And so anyway, this same publication this year said the era of the black quarterback's officially underway. And this year it was a picture of Mahomes and Watson, who opened the season in the race-related ritual with the Black National Anthem. But we noticed last week that there were 8 games where there was a black quarterback versus a white quarterback. And we said, we have to pay attention to this. We know this season's going to be synced up with all these narratives. George Floyd. So check this out. So last week, black quarterbacks. Here it was. Tyrod Taylor beat Joe Burrow in his debut. And he got his 24th career win, by the way. Bengals 24. Kyler Murray beat the 49ers, the defending rookie of the year, a black passer who was the offensive rookie of the year in what was called the year of the black quarterback. Kyler Murray upsets the defending champion 49ers at home. Lamar Jackson smokes Baker Mayfield. The only black quarterback that lost in the day games was the one that played for the Carolina Black Panthers that they do all the Black Panther rituals with. And I'm going to get to something. Well, I think Sunday Night Football is underway. And by the way, you guys, I would have started about 40 minutes earlier, but I was about to start, and my mom called right as I was about to start the live stream, and then she had a lot to say, and so I had to listen to Mom. So I started a little bit late. I apologize. But there's something I want to show you that's really interesting tonight about the Panthers game in light of the death of Chadwick Boseman. And when Chadwick Boseman died, I talked about how they do Black Panther rituals with Cam Newton, because Huey P. Newton founded the Black Panthers. He died the year that Cam Newton was born. Cam Newton was born on the 131st day of 89. Huey P. Newton died on the day leaving 131 days left in the year in 89. And Huey P. Newton equals 131. And when Cam Newton's career was frozen with the Panthers, it was frozen at 131 games played. And his first game played this year was his 132nd game of his career. And tonight's game at Seattle is 132 days after his birthday. And the reason that matters is because Chadwick Boseman just died 132 weeks after Black Panther came out. And his character name T'Challa equals 132. So Chadwick Boseman, remember, he just died on... There's so many riddles to it, you guys. Chadwick Boseman died on what was celebrated as Jackie Robinson Day this year in the MLB, and also on the birthday of Jack Kirby, who wrote Black Panther. Sorry, I need a drink. But he died on this very curious day. And then what makes it all the more mind-blowing is Jackie Robinson was supposedly in World War II with a tank brigade called the Black Panthers, and their number was 761. They were the 761st Brigade, which is the 135th prime number. And this year, Jackie Robinson Day was 135 days after when it normally is, because they moved it because of the coronavirus season. And that night, the Dodgers lost to the Rangers down by Fort Hood, where he was in the military, and they fell to 13-5 away. And that was the week that began with Kobe Bryant Day on 8/24. The Lakers won that day with 135 points. Kobe being Bryant 135, dead 135 days from Kanye West's birthday. Kanye in the movie The Black Panther with Kobe. Directed by Robert Rodriguez, which equals 201, like the Jesuit order, like Catholic Mass equals 201. Again, this whole ritual tonight with the Seahawks and Patriots. Pete Carroll used to coach for the Patriots 201 weeks after their last meeting. And by the way, with regards to 201 and the Black Panther, the T'Challa dies in that movie. God, that's what it is, you guys. We're going to find out tonight. Really watch what happens tonight in... Oh, my... Okay. I'm just going to lay this out for you for something to watch. Because now it's making sense to me. I had to talk out loud to put this all together. So, the guy who's the nemesis of Black Panther in the film, Michael B. Jordan, the guy who tries to take over, who almost does... You could say they cheated for him to be knocked down, but you can look this up. Chadwick Boseman died 201 days after Michael B. Jordan's birthday. Again, this is a huge Jesuit number. These are all Jesuit rituals. We're just talking about 132. Catholic Church is 132. United States of America is 132. 132 rooms in the White House. This country was named September 9th, 1776. 132 days from July 4th, 1776. These numbers aren't arbitrary. But anyway, tonight is 132 days after Cam's birthday, and we'll see what happens. But here's the thing: if Cam Newton and the Patriots win tonight, it's going to set up this possibility next week against the Raiders, who are originally from Oakland, like the Black Panther Party. And I'm just going to tell this to you guys now. We'll see. Oakland, California equals 74. You see that? Raiders equals 74. Ken Stabler with the Raiders goes to the post, won the MVP in 74. When Oakland won the championship the other year with the Warriors in Oakland, it was the first championship in Oakland since 74. They love this number 74 in Oakland. And who was formed there? The Black Panther Party 74. And remember, Cam Newton was signed by the Patriots this year, June 28th, 2020. A date was 74 numerology. Date was 74 numerology. He was signed. And Black Panther Party equals 74. And hold on, let me just pull it up. I want to make sure I get it right here with the Cam Newton thing. Hold on, I want to make sure I got this right. Give me 1 second here. So I want you to see how much of a Black Panther ritual it was with Cam Newton. And understand, all this stuff's not hindsight. I am the person who told people and got a lot of my followings because of what I did the year of Super Bowl 50. In October, I said why the Broncos would beat the Panthers, why Von Miller would be the MVP, and why there'd be a Black Panther tribute at halftime, and why there'd be a tribute to Super Bowl 24. And the Broncos beat the Panthers with 24 points. Von Miller was the MVP. Von Miller wore number 58. Cam Newton was the 58th quarterback to start in a Super Bowl, and Huey P. Newton equals 58, just like Oakland equals 58. And that year, the Super Bowl was in the Bay Area, hosted by the 49ers, Super Bowl 50. San Francisco equals 50. It was the golden anniversary. It was on the 38th day of the year. Gold equals 38. 49ers named after the gold rush. Colorado, the 38th state. Colorado equals 38. The Colorado team takes it on the 38th day of the year, beating the Panthers that equals 38. Perfect ritual for the 38th day, just like the Patriots beat the Panthers in Super Bowl 38. Now they got the Black Panther, Cam Newton. And the times are a-changing, right? Since Super Bowl 38. 16 years later, it's a new age. But anyway, the New York Post, when they got Cam Newton, emphasized salutes, which equals 97, like Bill Belichick's 97, Black Panther Party's 97, Dolphins is 97, the first team that Cam defeated. And remember, Bill Belichick won the Super Bowl the year of Super Bowl 97. 97 is the 25th prime. That was the 25-point comeback on 2/5 over the Falcons 25. But look at this. Cam Newton was released on Peyton Manning's birthday, March 24th. Get the joke? He loses to Cam Newton Cam Newton loses to Peyton Manning in the rigged Super Bowl 50. Peyton Manning rides off into the sunset. Years later, Cam Newton gets released on Peyton Manning's birthday. And to the day he signed is 97 days later. 97. And then from Bill Belichick's birthday to the signing was Belichick's 74th day of his age. Black Panther Party 74. Remember, George Floyd, I predicted the Vikings, I said the Vikings should go down today, and it might be ugly for the Vikings at the start of the year because they got to create the narrative to get Kaepernick. George Floyd killed on the 146th day of the year with the kneeling ritual. Colin Kaepernick 146. I am waiting to see if Cap goes to the Vikings and makes them a contender. Gonna have to watch old Kaepernick. I could see him being on the Vikings. They got a history of black quarterbacks. Good ones, too. Cunningham, Bridgewater, Culpepper. Forgetting some names right now. And oh, by the way, Warren Moon, you guys. Warren Moon equals 55. He was the 10th black quarterback to start in the NFL. Why am I saying that? Because 55 is the 10th triangular number. The Chiefs start the year with their 10th straight win. Warren Moon played for what teams? Houston, Minnesota, Seattle, and Kansas City. And 2 out of the 3 black quarterbacks to win Super Bowls so far played for Seattle and Kansas City. Minnesota, maybe if they got Kaepernick, watch out. And Houston, they got Deshaun Watson. You can imagine that they would win sometime in the future. Deshaun Watson's a great player. But the reason I'm also bringing that up is, remember, Joe Montana equals 54, and Super Bowl 54 was scripted through him. His Chiefs beat his 49ers, and he wore 19 with the Chiefs. They won the 2019 season. And it was all synced up with his 64th birthday, Kansas City Chiefs 64. The Chiefs now have scored 64 points in Super Bowls. If you write out 49ers as a word, it equals 64. Mahomes won the Super Bowl exactly 64 weeks after he beat Len Dawson's 1964 touchdown passing record. At that game, his girlfriend's father was in attendance, and he dropped dead in the stands as Mahomes beats an age-old passing record by the numbers. But also this signing for Cam Newton, we also noticed that it was 74 days to the first game of the season on September 10th. I got a lot of information up here. Where did I put it? So anyway, it's obvious that they're doing something with the Black Panthers again. And here, just to show you... there it is right there. From the day he signed to September 10th, also 74 days, or 2 months and 13 days. Black Panther 213. Remember Tupac Shakur, his mother was a Black Panther, Afeni Shakur. All Eyes on Me came out on February 13th, 213. Tupac killed 213 days later on 13/9. Tupac Shakur 139. Drive-by shooting 213. The movie All Eyes on Me starts with Afeni Shakur, the Black Panther. Again, they do so many riddles with these numbers, you guys. But tonight really is 132 days. Let me see how you spell T'Challa the right way. I'm going to show you something crazy. T'Challa. Do I have it spelled right? Okay, I got it spelled right. Look at this. T'Challa. Okay, so you see the 57? Remember, he died the anniversary day of the I Have a Dream speech, and it was the 57-year anniversary. And Georgetown's the Jesuit University in D.C. Georgetown's 57. Georgetown's 57 and 42 like T'Challa. You see how T'Challa's 21 and 42? Again, he played Jackie as well, who wore number 42. Jackie is 21 and 42. And everyone changed his age after he died. We documented that too. He was 42 when he died. Go back and look up the stories from June when he was reported taken to the hospital sick at age 42. And his birthday is at the end of the year. He wouldn't even have turned his age yet. They changed his age when he died. But T'Challa's also 132. And from the day the film came out, which I believe was February 16, 2018, it was 216. There's a reason why. But the movie Black Panther came out February 16, 2018, and to the day he died, August 28th, 2020. Look at this. 132 weeks on the nose. And he played T'Challa, right? 132. On the 57-year anniversary, I Have a Dream. On Jackie Robinson Day in the MLB. On the birthday of the author of Black Panther. Plus, there was even more. There's even more stuff I'm forgetting. There's like 5 more things that are worth saying that I can't remember right now. But now today, you got Cam Newton playing 132 days after his birthday. And I guess tonight we figure out who's T'Challa and who's Michael B. Jordan, whose character name I forget. But again, if Cam does win this week, it sets it up so he can get his 74th win next week over the Raiders. Raiders 74. And again, Oakland, California, where the Raiders are really from, where the Black Panthers are from. So we'll see if they do that. If you see Cam Newton win tonight over the Seahawks and beat the Raiders, you know they're going somewhere big with this Black Panther ritual this year with Cam now that he's on the Patriots. And you should already know that because you know how I just showed you that the 97 ritual with Cam Newton? This 97 ritual, that he comes in and beats the Dolphins first game to get his 43rd home win. Dolphins 97, 43rd home win. Football 43, Florida 43, 43-year-old Brady gets beat down by Breeze in week 1 in a very, very clever Jesuit ritual. Again, we covered that last week. But anyway, so understanding these racial narratives, I still got to go through the rest of these games. And I'm not even sure I got to the 62 part. Hold on. Oh yeah, so I was just explaining how last week black quarterbacks were 6-2 versus white quarterbacks on a 62-date numerology. And the only 2 that lost were Teddy Bridgewater in the date. The only black quarterback we lost in the daytime was Bridgewater, who plays for the teams with the Black Panthers, against the Raiders, who are originally from Oakland. And by the way, the Las Vegas Raiders are the only team in the NFL that equals 101, their full name. The only team with a full name that equals 101. And it's the 101st NFL season, and tomorrow night they're playing their first game in Las Vegas. Tomorrow leaves 101 days left in the year. And who are they playing? The team from Louisiana, the state known for football and fine football. Louisiana 101. And who did they play last week? The Panthers. There's only a few teams in the league that have a connection to 101. And the Raiders in the 101st year open up at the Panthers in a symbolic Black Panther ritual. And then now they host Louisiana on the day leaving 101 days left in the year. Again, it's just this kind of stuff year after year. Remember this one? Just from one of my favorites just the other year. Mercedes-Benz Stadium 307. That's the 63rd prime in Tom Brady's 307th career game, Super Bowl 53. He became 6-3 in Super Bowls. That was his 307th game played in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Again, 307, the 63rd prime. And again, we had the Super Bowl right from the beginning of the year. Patriots over Los Angeles in 53, Riddle. Patriots 53, Los Angeles 53, 53 the 16th prime. And 16 points scored in the Super Bowl. Patriots won with 13. LA 13 and 41. Tom Brady was 41 years old that year. Super Bowl 41. 41's the 13th prime. 41 plus 13's 54. Kobe Bean Bryant 54. Gianna Bryant 54. Dead one Sunday before Super Bowl 54 in a big Catholic Jesuit ritual. In LA, dead at 41 and 13, add their ages together, 54. Mockery, numbers, riddles. But anyway, they did this 6-2 riddle last week. And again, we said, I think the real reason that Google gave me 2 strikes and took down the first 2 videos I did on George Floyd is because, first of all, it was over 7 hours of video content. I did a 4-hour and some minute live stream and a 3.5-hour live stream. Tons of calls, tons of observations. We talked about everything, the psyop, the rituals, what to expect in sports. A lot of great information. Google takes those videos down 6 weeks later for hate speech. It's like there wasn't any hate speech. All we were doing was educating and teaching about how the news and sports are scripted, things that we should be allowed to know in a supposed democratic republic, where the republic only stands if the people have information and knowledge. People can't see that we're infiltrated, that you're demonized in society for speaking truth, for sharing information, for bringing things to light. You get called all these names, including conspiracy theorist, even when you prove your points, multiple times a week for 7 years straight. But anyway, we were talking about how Floyd is 62, Minneapolis is 62, riot is 62, asphyxiation is 62, Eric Garner's 62. The George Floyd thing was compared to Eric Garner. The word park is 62. He was killed by the Park Police in Minneapolis. And remember, supposedly he was killed Memorial Day. The video came out the next day when the news went viral, May 26. Nobody heard about the story on Memorial Day. But all Memorial Day, what you heard about was Amy Cooper in the park, Central Park in New York, who choked her dog on camera while calling the police on a black man who asked her to leash her dog. Remember that story? Amy Cooper in the park, choking her dog. Dog 26, Floyd 26, Riot 26, Twin Stories, the Twin Cities, Gemini, the Twins, New York, the Twin Towers. But again, so we've been documenting how important this is. Floyd 62, Minneapolis 62. What happens the first week of the NFL games? 6-2, black quarterbacks versus white quarterbacks. And the last game of the night was Sunday Night Football, where Dak Prescott got punked. And 37 combined points, just like the Rams scored 37 this week. Dallas is 37. But the thing about this game, it was all about 13. Dallas equals 13, LA equals 13. The game was on the 13th of September, and the Rams got their 13th ever win against the Cowboys. And the game ended with a weak pass interference call against the offensive receiver, number 13, who, if that play hadn't been taken away, the Cowboys were in position to either win the game or tie it. And again, even the announcer said, "Ooh, that was a tough call right there. It didn't look like a penalty." That's the kind of stuff that they do in the script. I'm telling you, that was the script. Dak Prescott sucks. If you go back and watch that play, you can see that the defender gave extra clearance so that Dak Prescott could complete the completion, because he can't without. He doesn't belong in the NFL. He's horrible. But then they called the weak call just to piss people off, because Dallas fans are like, yes! That moment of euphoria. That's what they do with these fans. They do it all the time. These impossible situations, these heartbreaking things. But also for certain teams, it's like, yes, we're so blessed again. It's us again. Tom Brady, the Patriots, and the Patriot Act. I can't see what's going on here. But, the fix is definitely in, and it was all about 13, and they're showing you all these replays at number 13 on the screen, how this play is going to mess up the whole game for the Cowboys. And then what the final play of the game's ran with 13 seconds left. It's just like, oh my God, man. But I got to admit, last Sunday night, even being aware of the 6-2 thing on the 62 date, I was torn, because here's why I was torn. Had the Cowboys won, they would have been 7-1, and that number's been all over with the ritual as well, because African Americans 71, the video of George Floyd came out on a 71 date numerology, 71's the 20th prime, it's 2020. So it was like, God, 6-2 makes sense on the 62 date, it's definitely there, but man, if they did the 71... So sometimes, even though you know the things, that the riddle can still be tough to lean one way or the next. But the 13 on the 13th between the two 13 cities was also just it was like really, if you just looked at it that way, it was low-hanging fruit. But again, you have this knowledge. There's certain games where you'll see, and you'll just be like, okay, that riddle's just a one-way street. There's no two ways about this. And that was, for example, that was the Bears game last week. The Bears were winning that game. That's why I rated it the safest pick. But again, I gave all of my followers a nightmare because some of them did bet the house on it, and they thought they were going to lose the house, but then the Bears came back and won. So, again, that's why I don't even watch the games, you guys. I can't stand watching these games because they are just meant to provoke you and drain your energy and give you these negative feelings. I cannot watch pro sports. I mean, sweet lady, when she sees me watching sports, she's like, I don't know why you do that to yourself. And you're like, you're exactly right. I need to turn this off right now. I can have a game on for like 5 minutes before I'm already losing it. There's already just something so stupid just every time. It's just like, oh my God. And people still think this is real? These guys wouldn't have a high school JV job if they officiated like that. I know that because I used to officiate high school basketball. You got to be on your game to even get JV games. There's a lot of people that want to officiate. These NBA refs, they couldn't make a call to save their life. It goes for all these pro sports officials. It's just a joke. So, anyway, what other games do we have to go through here? Now, okay, so if you watched the live stream yesterday, I was fixated on something. I talked about it at length. There was a huge Jesuit ritual on the board for Kyler Murray to win today, and he did win. But in the end, I just said, I'm going to leave this game alone. There's enough good games today. And like all the games we went through, I mean, we just killed those games. So I was like, yeah, let's try to go perfect. Let's be careful on some of these games. So there was something for Kyler Murray that was just punching me in the face. Normally a QB riddle beats a coach's riddle. But the problem with this game was if Ron Rivera won today, who's the new coach for the Washington football team, last week he got his 77th win, DC, the 77 city on the 77th meridian known as the American Meridian. And remember, United States equals 77. On 9/11 in D.C., Flight 77 hit the 77-foot-tall Pentagon 77 minutes after taking off on September 11th, and September 11th, 77. So Ron Rivera goes to the Washington football team, picks up his 77th win. So I was like, God, are they going to really make it like about Rivera and the Washington football team and overcoming racism? So I was scared of this game today. Because even though Murray had this thing, Murray could have become 3-5-1 today, and the Jesuit motto, for the greater glory of God, equals 351. Very special number. And he did do that. He became 3-5-1. And again, they're the Cardinals, the Catholic Church. But the thing with Rivera that was bothering me is I saw that Rivera could get his 81st overall win, and Cardinals is 81. That's a big number with them. He could stay on 63 regular season losses. Cardinals is 63. And we did look ahead also at what could work out for him if he didn't win today. But anyway, I was like, I don't know, man. Maybe because I don't know what they're going to do with this Washington football team. It's a new narrative. So they came out and got the win by the numbers week 1, but then the Jesuit ritual played for Kyler Murray. So that was a neutral game today. And then the Chiefs and Chargers, I said this one's going to be close. The Chiefs are big favorites, but this definitely not worth betting on the Chiefs to cover today because the Chargers definitely have a riddle to upset. And the problem with this game was Reed could get his 79th regular season win with the Chiefs, or he got his 83rd overall win last week with the Chiefs over the Texans. Texans 83. I always look at the overall stats and the regular season stats because you got to look at both because sometimes the riddle's in one and not the other. Overall just means including the postseason, so the all-time wins with that team. Regular season's just in the regular season, not counting the playoffs. But Reed could have got his 79th regular season win today, and he did. Chargers is 79. Or he could have got his 41st overall loss, and LA's 41, and that plays in LA. But we did look ahead, and I wrote in the notes. I mean, here's the way I wrote it up for this game. I said if Mahomes wins, it sets up the 59 riddle next week versus Lamar Jackson. And again, the season began on a 59 date, and they're doing all this black stuff, so that's kind of what makes the most sense. And he did win today in a nail-biter. And I wrote, if Taylor loses, and actually, did he even end up starting today? Did he get pulled for Herbert? What happened? But if Taylor loses, because he was supposed to start, he is 1-3 versus KC and becomes the latest LA 13 riddle. LA and 13 always. And then I laid out how Andy Reid could make sense with a win or a loss. So Chiefs, I didn't feel like they were going to cover today because the Chargers were winning for a lot of this game and nearly did win the game. But Chiefs came through in the scripted finish. And I got to give Mahomes credit, even though it's all scripted. I mean, he's a talented player. I mean, he puts the ball where it's supposed to be. And he's a Manchurian like no other, maybe. Well, there's a lot of good ones, but I mean, he's good. He puts the ball right on the spot. He's almost perfect. It's impressive to watch. Anyway, they won, and then the Ravens and Texans. When I slept on this last night, and when I woke up this morning and I saw this story. If you go watch the video I did on GematriaEffectNews this morning about this story, I pointed out. I said it's all about 102 today, and I said if you look in these matchups, again, I want people to do a little research. I said you'll see that there's a certain team today that if they win, they'll be 10-2 all time against the other team, and that was the Ravens if they beat the Texans. Now, the reason I needed to sleep on that before giving further advice is because this is where things can get tricky. Last week, Andy Reid got his 83rd career win over the Texans because Texans is 83, football's 83. In this case, Ravens is also 83, and had the Ravens lost today, they would have been 8-3 versus the Texans in the regular season. So you would, and usually, if a record can hit and both teams connect, that's a very good thing. But today we recognize that they're doing this slavery 102 type thing. And once that undefeated article came out, I was like, okay, that's what they're doing. So again, including the postseason, the Ravens were 9-2 versus the Texans today. And had they won, they'd be 10-2. 10-2. And the other thing I pointed out is if the Ravens won today, they'd become 4-2 at the Texans, kind of like how Dak Prescott got his 42nd win today. Again, slavery's 42 and 102. So the Ravens improved to 4-2 at the Texans today and 10-2 all time against those teams. Just like how Dak Prescott got his 42nd career win today. And remember, the N-word's 42 and 102. And even Dak Prescott is 42. So Dak Prescott, if I remember right, was the 132nd pick of the draft. And he replaced Tony Romo. Wait, hold on. No, that's what it was. Never mind, I'm wrong about that. Dak Prescott was the 135th pick of the draft, and he replaced Tony Romo 135. But Dak Prescott has that 132 on him as well. Okay, I'm glad I talked about this and connected the dot with the T'Challa thing. I'm going to have to follow what they're doing with this year. Dak Prescott's got the 132-42 like T'Challa also. We just talked about that. Cam Newton's first game with the Patriots is 132nd. Again, T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman did 132 weeks after the film came out. And I think I might have forgot to mention that Chadwick Boseman also died 97 days after the director's birthday. Black Panther Party 97, like how Cam Newton was signed 97 days after being released. So yeah, the riddles, man, year after year. And here, I documented all this stuff if you ever want to show this to anybody. This is before the season began. Just wanted to archive this. Again, Cam Newton's birthday is May 11th, the 131st day of the year. Huey P. Newton's 131. And here it is, May 11th, the 131st day of the year. Huey P. Newton died the year Cam Newton was born. And he died on August 22nd, the day leaving 131 days left in the year. And these are everybody's stats coming into this season. Top quarterbacks. Cam Newton had 131 games under his belt. And notice he was on 71 wins, African American 71, 59 losses, Negro Slave Blues 59, 42 home wins. You know about 42 and 59. 34 away losses maybe. Black is 34, football's 29, 63. Or he had a tie as well. 64 away games, civil rights 64. But yeah, the 131 thing is just blatant. And we've been talking about Cam Newton, Huey P. Newton for a long time. And hold on, what is this? Oh yeah, Cam Newton's first rushing touchdown with the Patriots was his 59th as well. God, it's sick. But look at this. From Huey P. Newton's birthday, which happens to be Michael Jordan's birthday, and they got Michael B. Jordan playing the Nemesis? Hold on, man. Sometimes you just got to talk about things enough until you realize things. So Huey P. Newton has the same birthday as Jordan, and in the Black Panther film, the actor Michael B. Jordan is the nemesis of T'Challa. Okay. Somehow there's a right way to put this together. I'm telling you, tonight's Seahawks-Patriots game is the Black Panther T'Challa script. Let me see. Russell Wilson's birthday is November 29th. Let me see how many days it is from... I know it's 132 days after Cam's, the T'Challa number. And again, he died 132 weeks after the movie came out. Hold on. It's 42 weeks and 2 days after Dak's birthday. Or not Dak, but Russell Wilson. And I believe Russell Wilson can get his 42nd loss tonight. Hold on, let me check that out about Wilson real quick. Oh, by the way, Sunday Night Football even equals 288, which is weird because Chadwick Boseman died on 28/8. Isn't that weird? And then today's 132 days after Cam's birthday. And again, T'Challa's 132, and his first game with the Patriots was 132. Yeah, that is too wild. That is too wild. But hold on, where's Russell Wilson? Wilson. So many numbers. Wilson could get his 42nd loss in the regular season tonight. He really could. It would be another 42-102 ritual. Interesting. Okay, I'm definitely watching that. One thing I see for Wilson, though, and this is one of the things I was iffy on, Wilson could get his 97th win tonight, and that's the Black Panther number. Black Panther Party's 97. I knew there was something that had me hung up on this. I was like, okay, which way are they going with this? Is Wilson getting 97 for the Black Panther Party, or are we doing another 42-102 combo? And that's why sometimes some games that are iffy, it's better to just take the strong games, and the iffy games, sit back and watch, because you're probably going to learn something if you understand the knowledge that's going to help you in the games going forward. You'll be like, okay, this is who they're doing as the actual Black Panther character. And understand, you guys, this isn't something we just caught on to. We were talking about how they synced up Cam Newton's season last year with the Black Panther film. They've been doing these riddles. We've been talking about Cam Newton and the Black Panther since 15 or 16, the year of Super Bowl 50? That was played in the beginning of 2016. Yes, it was. So we were talking about that in 2000. We've been talking about Cam Newton and Black Panther rituals since 2015, before these movies even came out. How it's all connected, and now how could you deny it? With Chadwick Boseman and all this? I mean, come on. Stuff is sick. So, yeah, but anyway, if you want to learn how to decode sports, again, there's a good community on the Patreon. You got to ignore the trolls. The trolls are there to ruin everything. And again, there's a full-time staff of trolls that harass 24/7, 365 like they work in shifts. And again, it's because they're trying to sabotage the spread of this information and the value of it and the power and ability it has to help people. And again, just quick recap. Games we like this week. Browns, definitely to win. Why? Because Zach Taylor, the coach of the Bengals, was going to fall to 2-16 in Cleveland, the 216 area code, just like how years ago we predicted the Browns would end their losing streak 216 days after Jim Brown's birthday. Jim Brown, the last time the Cleveland Browns won anything, mockery. Brown and the Browns, and people don't think there's something weird going on? Come on, this is the Twilight Zone. Always the 216 riddles with Cleveland. Bone equals 216 in Sumerian Gematria, the hip-hop group out of Cleveland. Don't mess with Cleveland in 216. Remember, the Cubs ended the 108-year drought. Major League equals 108. 108 double stitches. What's 108 double stitches? 216 stitches. Who did they beat? Cleveland, the 216. What's the movie Major League? The Indians. Major League 108. Again, the Bears today. Bears had a great riddle last week and this week. Trubisky got his 24th win over the Lions. Lions 24. He gets his 25th win over the Giants. Giants 25. And we just killed with some 25 riddles with baseball and the Giants. Cross the sports. I had the Cowboys to win today. One guy thought it was going to ruin his huge parlay. And he's like, look, I almost got this, but the Cowboys killed it today. Well, 30 minutes later, 20 minutes later, whatever it was, he was like, oh my God, it came through. And Cowboys, I still haven't even seen the highlights, but the reason I like the Cowboys because it looked like Atlanta would fall to 4-9 in Dallas. Dallas and 49. Again, solid number. Dallas 49, NFL 49, America 49. Liked it. Packers. They had the riddle to win. Lions had the riddle to lose. Packers also had a riddle to lose, but since the Lions had a riddle to lose and the Packers had a riddle to win and there wasn't really anything for the Lions, look better for the Packers. Plus, we saw how a Packers win this week sets up a nice narrative for next week in the numbers. Again, Jaguars in 77. I've taught about this pattern since the years I've done this for free. Jaguars 77, a number that seems to never miss with this team. Today, Minshew, their quarterback, lost and became 7-7 and 3-4 away. Tennessee 34. Jaguars 77. Perfect quarterback record as a Jaguars quarterback to be 7-7. And again, Rivers to get his 69th career home win on the 69 date numerology in his first home win with the Colts 69. Give it to me. Plus, I think Cousins is going down. And again, McDermott to get his 27th win over Miami. Miami 27. We're taking it. Again, because there's not things conflicting with this. The 49ers have a riddle to get rolling here, so the 49ers look good today. And a big pattern with Jimmy G. Something that's valuable for all of you who don't want to support the Patreon. I'm here to help you guys anyway, too. If you want to take something away, you watch when Jimmy G's playing in a game and there's a 77 riddle, because that 77 riddle is happening. This guy is Mr. 77. Jimmy Garoppolo equals 77. Jimmy G equals 77. The Chiefs and Niners became 7-7 against each other in the Super Bowl. And in this game, Darnold became 7-7 at home, losing to Jimmy G. So, Jimmy G and the 77 patterns. Again, when I write notes like this, it's because I've been talking about these things for years. People who follow know exactly what I'm talking about. So, and again, because of what I learned in the last year, because of the Jesuits, I was able to see that the Rams had a good chance to beat the Eagles. I would have got this game wrong last year. Last year, I would have got this game wrong outright. But this year, I said, uh-oh, Goff's got a major Jesuit ritual on the board. It's all about 56. And again, look at the score of the game, you guys. 56 combined points. And this is what we talked about before the game. His 56th game. Society of Jesus 56 running the show. 37-19 score. And I see more comedy in this. Again, Los Angeles is 37. Just like last week, they won 20-17. 37 points. The 19's funny because flag is 19. And remember, the year that the Eagles played the Patriots in Super Bowl 52, which we said would be the Super Bowl in week 3 of that season, Donald Trump took on the NFL on 23/9, flag sewn in Philly at 239 Arch Street. He took on the protesters of the flag. Donald Trump has the flag's birthday. 239's the 52nd prime. Super Bowl 52, the home of the flag, Philly, versus the team with the flag on the helmet, Patriots. And remember, that was the 98th NFL season. Patriots 98, New England Patriots 98. Tom Brady, 98. Bill Belichick's mom just died at age 98, the day Bill Gates' dad died at 94. And again, that's the number that defines Bill Gates' life, 94. But, and again, Bill Gates is Mr. Seattle. Patriots and Seattle play each other. The coincidence of the Bills losing their parents on the same day at old age. But remember that year, Tom Brady, that year, he had all these. So if you guys are new here, even though I had the Eagles and Patriots in the Super Bowl, I favored the Patriots to win that year. It's the only year I've favored the wrong team in the Super Bowl that I've been doing this, but I still help people win a fortune because I said the Eagles would start 10-1 and we killed the playoffs and having the matchup. I mean, all that was huge money, but it would have been nice because a lot of my people, I had them leaning towards the Patriots to win the Super Bowl, but I did say what the narrative was for the Eagles, and to my credit, I said, if the Eagles win, Zach Ertz will score the winning touchdown. And the reason I said that is because it was 86 days after Zach Ertz's birthday. He wears the number 86. The national anthem was adopted 86 years before that season. It was all about the flag and national anthem. And I was torn. I was like, okay, is the Patriots with the flag or the home of the flag, the Philadelphia city that are known for being a bunch of, sports assholes? It's kind of Philadelphia's reputation. But, and I've actually seen it in person in San Francisco. The most violent thing I ever saw was a 49ers-Eagles game in San Francisco. It was just mayhem in the stands with the Eagles fans. Police arresting people everywhere, women, men. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. But anyway, getting all tangential. And these riddles, man, these rituals, they're so sick. They're so sick. I mean, they really are sick. And understand what they're saying, you guys. This historic moment in the NBA or NFL, so many black quarterbacks facing each other. And realize what a load of bullshit this is. If the NFL wasn't rigged, it would have been the era of the black quarterback 40, 50 years ago. Probably longer ago than that. Probably would have been right when football started, honestly. The era of the black quarterback would have been underway from the start of American football if it wasn't all rigged and scripted. And it has been for all these years. And for all of you guys who have Ken Burns and Netflix, Do they still have the Ken Burns documentaries on there? If they still have the Ken Burns baseball documentary, just sit back and watch that thing. If you're a sports fan, sit back and watch Ken Burns baseball. Talks about how all the early days of the league, this is like the first really major American sport, American baseball. All the early days of the league were based on conspiracy and rigging to control the money, to control excitement, to get people interested in the game. They talk about it all and how Spalding, the companies that sell the balls to these companies. Again, it's all been a rigged show from the beginning. All roads lead to Rome. It's the Roman Jesuits running the show. Sports are the circus. But again, understand what they're also telling you with this ritual on the day leaving 102 days left in the year. It's bigger than just understanding the Gematria connection. What do you think they're telling you with this? Of course, they're telling you what you already knew, is that during American slavery, slaves were made to breed with each other, to build bigger, stronger, faster, more productive. Who dominates the world of sports in America? This is why the era of the black quarterback would have started at the beginning if it was real. It's not real. Tom Brady, dad's body, slow as hell, all day in the pocket, no matter who his offensive line is, no matter how banged up they are, no matter how much the insiders are like, I don't know about the Patriots this year, team deflect, injuries at the tackle position. Somehow Tom Brady still has all year in the pocket every game. Meanwhile, all these other young athletic quarterbacks scrambling for their life almost every game. It's like, come on, man. People don't see through this. The Cowboys come back today. I didn't even see it, but think about who the Cowboys comeback was against too, you guys. The Falcons. Does that remind you of the Patriots' improbable comeback against the Falcons? Remember, I rarely use the word guaranteed, but I guaranteed the Patriots were going to win that Super Bowl. And again, I wish that channel never got deleted because it was fun to always go back and just read the comments. I would just laugh at them because they were so hate-filled. All these insults, how dumb I was, how the Patriots got wasted. I was an idiot. And, of course, the Patriots came back from 25 points and won the game. I said it would be all about 25 in the Patriots before it was even played. All right, let's take a call. What's up, Jeremy?
Hey, Zach.
Hey, what's up, man?
I have 3 important topics to add to the discussion before the calls start pouring in. Let's see. We got James White, and then I'll start with that one. The James White thing. The running back for the Patriots. His father passed away shortly before the game tonight.
I'm glad you brought that up because I meant to cover it. So today's 33 weeks into his age, or 231 days after his birthday, the 21st triangular number. And, of course, Jesuit and Sunday are 21. And that number 33 always popping up. And what are the odds? Dead parents the day of a big game. I noticed the 3:53 tweet time, too, like the 71st prime. Big Catholic number. His name has the encoding and number of the beast and Catholic and car crash. So this looks like just like another Jesuit sacrifice ritual. And again, for people who don't know, look into the Jesuits. They are known for being killers. They refer to themselves as a military order. Militaries kill people. So
he was also the MVP of Super Bowl 51 and scored the winning touchdown to complete the comeback against the Falcons.
Oh, man. And the Falcons had the huge comeback on them today. And you know what else that reminds me of? That reminds me that Super Bowl was 51 days from the Pope's birthday because Pope Francis blessed that Super Bowl, the only one he has. And Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons, has September 27th birthday, the day the Jesuits were recognized by Rome. And Matt Ryan went to Boston College, the Jesuit school. And there used to be the Boston Braves, like we followed that Boston Braves riddle earlier this year in baseball. But today the Falcons give up the huge comeback to Dallas.
Yeah, and Cam Newton's the Black Panther on the Patriots, and James White. We just got the white and black.
Oh,
just the words white and black.
Okay. So today is 201 weeks after the last time the Patriots and Seahawks played, and again we know Pope Francis is Mr. 201, birth name 201, first Pope to live in Suite 201. Somehow there's some big circular relationship with this. Can you take it any further?
With the James White thing. Well, his dad's name is Tyrone, so I was trying to look up Tyrone White, the Gematria of that. See, turns out the next two things I need to want to point out, they also tie into the Falcons.
I just thought of something. Black Panther.
97. Remember it was Super Bowl or 97th season. 97.
Oh, so 97, Black Panther Party's 97. That was the 97th NFL season. I just thought about this, too. His name, James Calvin White, is the exact same as Number of the Beast in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. And remember, Black Panther with Sumerian Gematria is 666, like how that movie came out on February 16th, and 6 times 6 times 6 is 216, and it's 2 hours and 16 minutes long, and they show that shot in the movie where they're looking at the video surveillance, and it's on 2:16 on the clock when they're looking at it. And from Kobe's death to Chadwick Boseman's death was a span of 216 days as well.
That just reminded me of something with Seattle, since they're on TV and we're talking about them. And that was the Beast Quake. Remember that?
Oh, man, I'm so glad you brought that up. Because remember last year, all year I was talking about it. How in the Seahawks game, they went from... They had this thing where they messed with the fans. Their running back, I think it was Carson, had a 33-yard run, and then I know what it was. Okay, let me rewind. So it was the Saints and Seahawks game, and remember the Saints were big dogs because Bridgewater was in, but we liked Bridgewater to win because there was a big 68 riddle, and his name's 68, and Seattle, Washington 68. So that was the game where the Saints upset the Seahawks with Bridgewater after Breeze got hurt. But I remember now, because the Seahawks were like at midfield, and they said, you know what it means with the Saints in town, everybody's thinking about that Beastquake, and then they talked about how it was one of the best moments in Seahawks history. So they show the highlight of Marshawn Lynch with the game-winning run against the Saints in the playoffs that supposedly set off the Richter scale because Seattle Stadium's so loud. So they show that highlight, and as soon as it ends, and I mean like a split second later, the Seahawks snap the ball, hand it off to Carson, he's running down the field, big gain, and as soon as at the end of the play, they announced that it was a 33-yard run, the longest run of the season for the Seahawks. But at the end of the run, he got the ball punched out, and the Saints player grabbed it and ran it all the way back for a touchdown. So they showed this great Seahawks moment. Then the Seahawks get a 33-yard run to put it down near the Saints end zone, but then it gets popped out with a fumble and ran all the way back down the field for a touchdown. And I was like, look at how they just did that to the fans. They had them like reliving their greatest moment. Then this exciting run. It looks like a scoring drive. They can take some control in this game against the Saints, but instead the whole script flips. But then not only that, then the next Seahawks drive, Russell Wilson scores a rushing touchdown, and they put up a stat instantly. First rushing touchdown since this date. And I was like, oh my God, don't tell me it was 666 days ago. So I punched it in the calculator. 666 days ago, the last rushing touchdown for Russell Wilson. And again, they were just memorizing the Beastquake, and 666 is the number of the beast, and beast equals 47, and Seattle's on the 47th parallel, and all the number of the beast rituals with Bill Gates and his father and his vaccine company. It's crazy how it all comes together. I'll remind people, when Pete Carroll became the winningest coach in Seattle history in the London game over the Raiders, that was a big 206 ritual, like Seattle's the 206 area code, beating the Raiders 206 weeks after their last meeting, and the home game was played in London in the London series in Wembley Stadium, which equals 206. Carroll got his 82nd home win, the most with the Seahawks. Seattle's 82, and the next day Paul Allen died, who co-founded Microsoft with Bill Gates. And now you have this Bill riddle with Bill Belichick and Gates, and then these teams meeting 201 weeks later, and William Henry Gates is 201. It's weird how they intertwine in these like celebrities and mega companies from the things with the thing, but that's why I really want to see what the score of tonight's game is. So.
Yeah. Did you know about the verses in Revelation that tie the beast stuff together?
Bring it. Well, Revelation 13:18, obviously, but give me the rest of it.
Well, there's a first beast that comes out of the sea, and it so I was thinking like the Seahawks and how Marshawn Lynch is called beast mode, and then there's some verses about a second beast that comes out of the earth, and that's like the beast quake. And then it says, the beast shall prevail against the saints, who can make war against the beast.
Huh.
So it's like him running over the saints, in that game.
Right.
And the dragon gives power to the beast. It's all like Revelation 13.
Well, what is weird is Seattle has that new hockey team, and they're calling them the Kraken, which is like the beast that comes out of the ocean.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I think whenever it uses the words like oceans or sea, stuff like that, it means like multitudes of people, like out of all the people of the earth, the beast comes out of them. Tribes and nations and multitudes, stuff like that. That's what the sea symbolizes. Trying to unite everyone under one system, you know.
Sure, maritime law and all that. Yeah, it makes sense.
But yeah, that's what I was realizing about that Beastquake play from. That's been a while back now. That was like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so there's all that stuff. Now there's more Falcon stuff to get to. Did you see the 201 tribute that they gave? It was like a lesson during the Falcons game.
On a lesson on 201?
Yeah.
Oh my god. What?
I recorded it with my phone.
Oh, I gotta see that. What did they do?
To my YouTube channel.
What did they do?
It's like a 50-second clip, and you can watch it. But basically, they put the three quarterbacks from the NFC South. So Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and who's the third guy? Oh, Matt Ryan. And they have, like, you know, thousands of passing yards. They're, like, some of the all-time leaders. And they're, like, in this one division, we have the three all-time leaders of passing yards. And they have, like, 126 miles worth of passing yards. And then they said, that's enough for you to complete 201 laps around Cowboy Stadium.
Wow. And you know what? I think Matt Ryan's first game of the year last week when he lost to the Seahawks was his 201st career game, wasn't it? I think
this game was.
This was Ryan's 201st game.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and they did the 201 thing in it. Oh my god, man. What? Okay, let's think about that then. So, okay, you had that. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's not true. So okay, I'm trying to think. There's something with the 201 in the Patriots and Seahawks game, and then they do the Matt Ryan 201 thing with the Cowboys and the Falcons. There must be some relationship between these teams. So we got Falcons and Seahawks, both birds, who've both lost to the Patriots in Super Bowls. What else do we got? Patriots, Cowboys. I got to think more about that, man. They're doing something with that. So
I know the Cowboys came back and they won 40-39, and Atlanta Falcons equals 40, and Cowboys equals 39 with the S exception.
79 points. Isn't Dak's full name Dakota Rain Prescott 79?
I was thinking Society of Jesus.
Society of Jesus is 79, so another Jesuit number. But I'm thinking his full name, Dakota Rain Prescott 79. Let me check that out. You know, both of his... Am I spelling it wrong?
His full name... Wait, how do you spell it?
Maybe I'm spelling it wrong.
I've got 78.
Maybe it is. Maybe I'm off. Oh, I think it's LeBron Raymond James that's 79 that I'm thinking of, actually. Rain Dakota Prescott's his name. Huh, but yeah, the 79 is the 22nd prime, and, hold on, does the word slip? No, it's the word Negro. The word Negro is 22, too. I know sometimes they use that number in the rituals. That could be part of it, 79, the 22nd prime, with all the black history stuff today. So, Well, I'm really glad you caught that 201 thing. I'm going to show you. Do you mind if I share your video real quick? I have it up here on the screen.
Yeah, play it.
All right, I'm putting it on right now. All these numbers, man.
That's a lot of yards. That's a lot of miles.
Oh my god. I gotta take a screenshot of that. Unbelievable, man. They are really making it all... I wonder how many amazing things we miss every day because we don't have enough people with eyes on everything that's being put in the media, but as if there wasn't enough 201 this year. Should I keep playing? It's at the 30-second mark. Should I play the next 20 seconds?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
They play the 201. So they play the Yeah, they keep saying something. The announcers are laughing with each other, and they're like, "Well, did you get your 201 laps in this morning?"
All right, here, let me play the rest of this, man. I swear it's like they know we're watching and they're laughing at us. They're like, what can you do about it? Here we go, hold on.
We're on AT&T Stadium here in Arlington, so if you're filling up for a job, that would equate to all the passing yards with those three quarterbacks in this division. You did 200. Did you get the 201 this morning? I did one. I'm almost there. Ryan stands in into coverage. Boy, tight window.
Okay, there it was, man. Unbelievable. Okay, this really was Ryan's 201st game. I thought it was his first game of the year. Shoot.
I checked, and it said he had 200 starts, so I'm pretty sure this was 201.
You're right. In his 200, so yeah, he came in with 100. So you guys, you see how Ryan came in 113 and 87? They have not updated these stats yet today. So they will update this. It will become his 201st game. They update the day after. So tomorrow when you come here, it'll say Matt Ryan 201, 113 wins, 88 losses. But you see how he came in 113 and 87? Look at Dallas 113 and look at Cowboys 87. Comes in with the Dallas Cowboys record. Crazy NFL type game, big comeback. Again, sometimes when you see these incredible alignments and then you watch the game, you're like, look, and that ended up being like the most interesting game ever, too. So, wow. Even a 201 tribute. So, Jeremy, what do you think about all the trolls that just think we're way off the mark and just waste all this time every day talking about how bad this work is?
I think they're paid. I think they're paid for.
They work in shifts, don't they, man? They work. It sounds bad. They work harder than me, man. It's like, God, I can't post at any hour without them harassing me. It's like, man, I could post at 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning, any time of day. These guys will be on there in a second.
Yeah, because like if somebody was just a hater, they would just pop in and out here and there and just like give you the middle finger. But those people are there all day, every day, so you know it's their job.
And they're talking about how horrible the picks were today. Where's the picks? It's like, come on, where's the picks? Got them all written down since last night. We went over them. So it's like, God, these guys.
I guess I don't know, maybe you might have to start posting like top 2 picks of the day or top 3 picks of the day.
Yeah, the trolls, man.
But
they just.
If you did that, they'd find some other avenue to complain about it.
Right. Well, I mean, and all the information's there anyway. Just for all the NFL stuff, it's all written down. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got a third Falcons thing that we can discuss. Type in Football Genius Book Series. Football Genius Book Series.
Football Genius Book Theories.
Yeah.
Football Genius Tim Green, Football Genius book
Tim
series?
Green. So the author is Tim Green, and he's a former Falcons player. And he wrote this book, and it became a series. And it's about a kid who has the ability to predict sports plays before they happen, and he predicts like plays for the Falcons. And his name is Troy White.
Troy White, huh?
James White passed away. James White was the MVP of the Super Bowl against Atlanta. And it says like this kid, the Falcons they figure out that he can predict plays, so they try to bring him to help out the Falcons win. Something like that. I was trying to read like the summaries of it. There's like 6 books in that series. Did you find it?
Oh, I got it up here, the Tim Green thing. Yeah, I got his website up.
But yeah, I was like, I don't know, one more thing making fun of like how we predict the plays and scores before they happen.
That's true. And, you know, the thing about what's awesome about what you found today with the Atlanta game is, again, it's perfect because they're talking about 201. The camera goes to Matt Ryan. He's Jesuit educated. And, again, we've been talking about 201 and the Jesuits all year. And just another... I almost feel like they wouldn't even have done this unless we had so much focus on this year. It really does feel a lot of times like they're mocking us. It's like, oh, my God. Still got some nerve, man.
There's a spin-off of that Football Genius one called baseball genius, and that kid can predict the pitches. He knows what pitch is coming next. And that one's like co-produced or co-written or something by Derek Jeter,
Huh.
the Yankees.
Huh. Mr. Clutch. Guess it helps to be clutch if you know what pitch is coming next. Yeah, and it's like so many times in this community we're like, okay, we got to watch what's happened here. The 54th pitch of the game, let's see. It's like, sure enough, smacks it out of the park. It's like, man, 54. We know why. Baseball, 54. 54 outs in the game. But, yeah.
And I guess they do it in like cartoons and kids' books just so...
So it seems like it's childish. That's for children.
Yeah, they're like, oh, where'd you learn how to do that? In a kid's book?
Yeah.
How'd you know this for the game? You probably just read that in a kid's book.
Yeah. Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny that the series is based on the Atlanta Falcons, and they have like the all-time greatest choke in Super Bowl history, and they also had that big choke back in the day. Or no, they were the beneficiaries of it. Remember the Vikings kicker missed the field goal that sent the Falcons to the Super Bowl?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's true. That's true. Yeah, there's something to that as well. No doubt about it. Awesome work, Jeremy, man. Huge find. I'm so glad. You're the only person I heard bring this up today. There's got to be other people out there who saw, but man, couldn't get more blatant. Matt Ryan's 201st game. They're talking about 201. The camera goes to him. He's about to give up the big lead. It's like they're telling you who's behind the rigging, if you got eyes to see.
Everybody in the chat's been saying they made a ton on the Cowboys, like plus 400, plus 500, all this stuff, live betting when they were down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ballsy bet, because, I mean, it was like, how do you come back from that? But they did. So.
Yeah, and like the Falcons, they didn't cover the onside kick because they thought it had to go 10 yards, but the receiving team doesn't have to wait 10 yards. So it's like, oh, these pro players they don't even know the rules of football.
Oh, they'll say, oh, yeah, you know, that's one of the consequences of the coronavirus shortened off season and no practice games and less scrimmage. It's just like, okay. Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, Jeremy. Awesome work. And everybody, Jeremy's YouTube channel, JHW3D. And Jeremy, that's the same handle for the Instagram, isn't it?
Yeah, I tried to make all my stuff the same name.
Yeah, his Instagram's awesome too. And his YouTube, he doesn't post a lot, but when he finds stuff, it's great. So.
Yeah, my video about Microsoft and the cryptocurrency patent got taken down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's because I put a clip from another channel in there, but I didn't think it would be like, I didn't know you could like, they would get mad at you for putting other clips of other people's channels as long as you had commentary on top of it, you know?
Sure.
But
yeah.
They do, so
Indeed.
that got wiped out.
Well, that is too bad. Awesome.
But anyways, yeah, I guess I'll get off for now and let some more people call in.
All right. Appreciate it, Jeremy. Great work. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. See you. Oh, hold on. My bad, man. Jonathan, I'm sorry, man. Are you still out there? My fault. If Jonathan's out there, he wants to connect. He's got things to say. So. My fault, Jonathan. I forgot. Okay. Well, the phone line wasn't open yet. Jeremy has my normal phone number. That's how he got through. Jeremy drove all the way out to Louisiana to help me pound pavement earlier this year, and we were educating about all the people that were offed for the LSU Clemson championship. And don't forget, we said Clemson was going to be in that championship. It was in stone, July 2019, I guess, because the championship was at the beginning of 2020. It was the death of Tyshawn Dye by the numbers synced up with the championship date. Second year in a row, Clemson lost a former running back synced with the championship date. Both years they went to the championship. And then remember how the LSU Tigers, the assistant coach, his daughter died in the plane crash the day they advanced to the championship. It's sick what goes on in sports, and people just call it all a coincidence. But here, let me open it up for some calls, and I'll wait for hopefully Jonathan's still out there. I feel bad. Let's see if we can get Jonathan on here in a minute. But until then, I'll open up the phone line. Trolls who harass me all day, why don't you guys call in and explain yourselves? Who do you work for? Why do you harass us all the time? I know I'm asking rhetorical questions. I know why you harass us, but I'd love to hear the trolls call in and explain themselves. Caller?
Hey, Zach, what's going on, man?
What's up, man?
From North Carolina. I've been telling you about the whole Tom Brady situation. I got another one.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed how many yards Teddy Bridgewater threw for.
I didn't. Tell me.
367.
Okay.
Which is the 73rd prime.
Oh, another 73 tribute in a Brady game, huh?
2 weeks in a row. He scored his first touchdown in his debut game with the Bucs at the 7:30 mark. In the 15-minute quarter, there's 7:30 in and 7:30 remaining. And in the second game, his opponent throws for 367 yards, the 73rd prime. And another thing that goes hand in hand with that, if the Lakers and Boston reach the finals, they have a total of 366 total games that they have met in.
Interesting.
This will be the 3-7. So I think Boston would take the Prince considering the fact that Brad Stevens signed on 7-3, and then the Patriots' relation with Tom Brady, I guess. It feels like you lean towards Boston, I guess.
Yeah, that's possible. I see the Lakers won tonight, which we expected, because, again, in the first game, the Nuggets fell to 8-7 in the playoffs. James is 87. If they lost two more, they'd be 8-9. King James is 89. Tonight they fell to 8-8. California's 88. So, again, it's been all James and King James riddles with some coronavirus stuff here and there. So, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about with the Nuggets.
Yeah, Lakers won
in
tonight.
the last game, they scored 126 points. The Lakers did. That total points in the game was 240.
Right.
Which is pretty much 24.
And I just want to give people a heads up. I saw a person trolling in my chat today. You have to realize the trolls are like working to mess up this community. So there was a troll spamming everywhere that the Nuggets were going to win to become 11-3 in the playoffs today. And people were responding to that troll like, oh yeah, Zach always talks about 1-1-3 in the NBA. That wasn't even factual. There was no way for the Nuggets to become 11-3 in the NBA. But I saw some people were getting into all that guy's comments because he was posting it everywhere. Realize there are trolls that are actively trying to mess up this community and mess with it. And then I'm sure people see that the Lakers lost and they're like, oh, maybe that 1-1-3 thing's not true. Well, it wasn't even true. So for all of you who are engaging with that person, if you're out there, the Nuggets had no chance to get to 11-3 in the playoffs today. That person was just messing with you. And if you want to learn how to decode sports, again, join the community on Patreon. I hardly charge anything, and the knowledge is very lucrative. But
Definitely.
So
yeah, Zach, I know me personally, like, I don't pay attention to it. Like, considering the fact that, like, I don't know, it's a big disparity between, like, you and everybody else. Like, there are others that do great work, but still, like, everybody, I think it's understood, like, generally, like, it's Zach, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
well, that's how it is right now. I'll tell you what, that's how it is right now. But like I said many times before, it's like long time ago when sports first came out, there was a guy who was real good at the game because he kind of revolutionized the game and showed people how to play the game, and they never really saw it before him. But then all the people who watch him and then emulate him and learn how to be better than him, then eventually they take the game to a whole new level. That's just the way the world works. So eventually, that's why I also put out the knowledge to teach people. Well, I want my students to surpass me and do better. And in some ways, you know, some people are. If somebody has a better set of knowledge about a subject like hockey, they can murder me in hockey right now because they know more about hockey. So that's what I want. I just want the knowledge to grow with people. And I like having competition because then it makes me go like, oh, okay. Oh, my student's stepping up to me and talking some shit now. Like, he thinks he's better. Okay, let me prove him who's better. Oh, what? You got 2 games right this week? We just went like 40-4 this week. Come on, man.
Right. I don't know. I think it's generally understood, man, that it's GematriaEffectNews, and Zach leads the forefront to Gematria. So
Well, and again,
Yeah,
the advantages, nobody was doing this before I came along. I was the person that was, I'll just say, lucky enough to figure out how the pieces of the puzzle came together because I was looking for the answers to the right things. And for people who don't know, when I started this, I wasn't looking for how sports games were rigged. I always knew sports games were rigged, but once I learned what I learned, I was like, holy shit, they're doing it with the sports. I can't believe it. So,
Right.
that's how it was.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna hold everybody up, man. I know it's other colors, man. I just get Behrendt in that day. Threw 367 yards, Terry Bridgewater. Oh, one more thing, man. It was TB versus TB and TB. Terry Bridgewater versus Tom Brady
In Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'll talk to you, man.
All right, appreciate it. Take care. Okay. The Lakers actually won by a score tonight that I'm having trouble deciphering. Normally I can see what the Lakers score's about, but it's like, okay, I got to think about that score. They scored 105, the 14th. Actually, God, that could be it, man. That could be why they scored 105, the 14th triangular. Slave is 14. Again, all this stuff they do on the slavery day, leaving 102 days left in the year. Caller, what's up?
Hey, man.
Hey.
Hey, what's good? Yeah, I'm the, the hockey guy you reference sometimes. I'm the Stars dude.
You're the Stars guy. Indeed.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. Stay there right there. You deserve your floor time. Just Jonathan's chiming in. Let me get Jonathan on here too. Jonathan, are you with us?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I do. Sit tight real quick. Let this caller finish his thought, and then you get to take the floor, Jonathan. So this is the man who said Dallas was going to win the Cup this year, like at the start of the playoffs, or I can't remember, maybe before they just begun, but he's been right on the money so far. So what's up?
All right, thank you. So, I don't call all the time, but I am in the chat sometimes. Playboy X says, I've been there here and there.
Oh, you're Playboy X?
Anyways.
You're Playboy X.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you are.
Yeah.
You get mad at me when you deserve to. I know who you are.
Yeah, anyways. I want to call about something. So, this connection. Next week, as we know, the Patriots play the Raiders, who the Buccaneers played in the 2002 Super Bowl.
Right, Gruden.
And the Buccaneers play the Broncos, who Cam Newton played in 2015 Super Bowl. So that's one thought. And so Tom Brady's birthday is 8/3. I forgot how many days it was from then to, I think it's 55 days. I think it's 55 days, yeah, from Tom Brady's birthday to next week, the 27th of September. Anyways, another reason I had the Stars aligning is because they started on the same day, started playing on the same day. Besides the whole 27 connection, they started playing on the same day, which was August 3rd. So that was my thought.
Okay.
But I just want to put that out there.
Hey, for people out there who don't think hockey's rigged, this is the 103rd NHL season. The Stanley Cup started on the day, leaving 103 days left in the year because of the whole coronavirus thing, because it went way later than it normally does, just like the NBA. And again, Dallas won their series 4-1. Dallas is 41. Tampa Bay Lightning's 179. They advanced to the Stanley Cup on 17/9. And again, across all sports, when you know Gematria, you just see right through these riddles. And this man right here on the phone, he's been right on about it.
I think the Stars win in 5 games. I think that's
4-1 again?
The fifth game would be the fifth game? What, excuse me?
So another 4-1 tribute. Dallas 41.
Yeah, that, and so the Stars finished on 82 points, and their first cup, their only other cup, was the 82nd Stanley Cup. So that's one thing to think about.
Okay.
That's just another addition. But yeah, that's what I have today. Oh, okay. One thing I really have to mention, it's not related to sports, but I think you might appreciate this. Do you remember the Enough is Enough card?
Yeah, Enough is Enough.
Remember that one?
From Illuminati. Looks like Donald Trump.
Yeah, look at it again. Look at how around his face you see little viral fungal, symbolism. I didn't notice that until like last month.
Okay.
If you look at like the HD image, yeah.
Illuminati card game. Enough is Enough.
Enough is Enough.
So you're saying on his
Yeah.
face there's what?
No, around his face, like, there's the virus symbolism, the circle thing, bacteria, whatever it is.
Oh, in the background. Yeah, well, like, what is that
Yeah,
supposed to be?
exactly.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't notice that until last month. And another thing to think about is the next Democratic president would be the 15th Democrat, and it could potentially be the 47th. But you mentioned a scenario where.
Do you know that the
Biden
election's
doesn't-
exactly 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday? It's exactly 46 weeks, and Catholics 46, and Biden can become the second Catholic president, number 46. And Beau Biden died at 46, and Beau Biden died 201 days from Pope Francis's birthday, the first pope to live in Suite 201, the Jesuit number.
Mhm. Well, I'm wondering if are they gonna off Trump? I'm really well. I've been wondering that for 4 years now, but now would seem like the perfect time. With all this chaos already going on.
That could really escalate things if they did something like that. It's possible.
Yeah.
Again, the one thing about Trump, the stat on him that indicates that he could possibly kick the butt is he's the 45th president, which is the 9th triangular number. And if he did die in office, he'd be the 9th president to die in office.
Yeah, he would. All right. Well, that's all I have today. Thank you for your time. I'll
All right.
try and call in as much as I can.
Keep up the good work, man. Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
All right, take care.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, see you. And how about this stat on the screen about Russell Wilson's 54-yard touchdown? I call that the Russell Wilson number. Russell Wilson's 54, baseball's 54. Him and Patrick Mahomes, baseball and football players. Jonathan, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm pretty good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right.
Okay. So first of all, thank you for teaching me Gematria, brother.
You're
Because I
welcome.
just cashed out again.
Nice, man. What teams? What games did you go with today?
I didn't go too crazy. I put just a $50 bet, made me almost 500.
That's great money, man.
Yeah,
That's great
yeah.
money.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I did the Cowboys, 49ers, Bills, Colts, Bears, Titans.
Those were all good riddles, man. Those were all good riddles. And the Cowboys were like, I'm sure you were all. It's funny, the person who sent me the message, like, I almost hit this today. They did hit it because they thought Dallas blew the game, so they thought it was over. They're like, look at this.
Yeah, I wasn't even worried about it, even when they was down.
The riddle
Even
was
when they
good,
was-
man. The riddle was good, but God, I thought I got to be admitted. I'm the one that's always saying it's not over till it's over. When I saw what the score was with not much time left, I was like, yeah, I guess that riddle's not coming through today. Shoot.
But that wasn't even worse than the Super Bowl. That was, the Super Bowl was, because now people are saying, I forgot the name of the coach of the Falcons.
Dan Quinn came over from the Seahawks.
Yeah, now they're saying that he's gonna get fired. I'm like, he should have got fired. He should have got fired after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, why would you ever want a coach that can't win a game when the game's already over? I mean, and he could have brought a 5-year-old over. They would have coached the Falcons to the win in that Super Bowl. So.
Yeah, exactly. That was it. The Cowboys was down like, I think they were down 20-0 at one point.
So did you hear that Jeremy called in earlier and he made the point that the Patriots player whose mother and father was killed today, he was the guy who scored the winning touchdown against the Falcons game in the comeback, and then the Falcons give up the big comeback today?
Oh no, I didn't hear that part.
And the other thing that he connected is he recorded this during the game. They were doing a measurement, and they said the equivalent of that distance is going around Cowboy Stadium 201 times, 201, that number of the year. And then right after that, the camera went to Matt Ryan, who's Jesuit educated. 201's the Jesuit number, and today was his 201st career game.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Jeremy recorded on his YouTube channel. You probably can't see my screen right now, can you?
Let me go to it. Hold on.
Well, you can just watch it later. I'll send you the
Okay.
I'll send you the link because Jeremy recorded it to his YouTube channel. How they play this clip and put the 201 up on the screen. It's it's just that number all year. And Matt Ryan, Jesuit educated at Boston College. So
201 again?
Yeah, they were showing the distance and they were showing how many times you'd have to go around the field to rack up all those yards, and they said the measurement's 201 times. And then the camera cuts to Matt Ryan, who's again in his 201st career game, the Jesuit.
Wow. You know, another thing that's interesting is Ryan Tannehill. He threw 4 touchdowns today, and he's a pretty good quarterback. And the Dolphins got rid of him, and the Dolphins lost again today. You know, it's like it's crazy how Miami, they get rid of Tannehill and he takes them all the way to the end. It's all scripted, but it's just
that's one thing too. Even though you can see it scripted, you can see who has talent. Tannehill to me always had talent. He threw the ball nice, and that's why I said last year I said Tannehill will take Mariota's job. But yeah. So exactly, it's just all script. I'm sure the Dolphins would have been better with Tannehill if it was legit. You know what else is funny? I just went back and paid attention to this clip, and this is amazing how they do this. So right after they show the 201 thing, I'm going to play it on mute for people, but I'm just going to explain this to you. So I'm just showing it on mute, the Fox coverage, so you can't hear what they're saying and how they're laughing about it. But watch this. They got the 201 up on the screen, which everyone sees, and then watch this. As soon as they put the camera on Matt Ryan's face, watch this. Bam. Right there. Right when it's at 9 minutes and 27 seconds. Now, what's 9:27 to the Jesuits? That's the day that they were created by Rome, September 27th. Come on, man. How did they do this stuff by coincidence? It's just like, at the same time, it's mind-blowing, but it's like, okay, who's ever like so into these numbers that we're following this trail of all the time? I mean, they're just so precise. So what they have the whole time is they have the number 201, and then they're showing a shot from like up on the sidelines with the whole field, and then right when the clock ticks to 9:27, at that exact moment, they put Matt Ryan's face on the screen. Okay, if you can follow that. You still there, Jonathan? Uh-oh. Did I lose Jonathan? He's not normally that quiet. But yeah, that's the big Jesuit day, September 27th, recognized by Rome, the day leaving 95 days left in the year that counter the 95 Thesis and Martin Luther, not to be confused with Martin Luther King Jr., who was killed on the 95th day of 1968. Rituals on rituals. Jesuits on Jesuits. All right, while we wait for Jonathan to come back, I will open back up the phone line. If you guys want to call in, I'm here. Something went wrong with Jonathan. I don't know what. Oh, shoot. There it is. Jonathan, are you there?
Oh, yeah.
There we go. My fault.
Hey, yeah. I'm looking at it on your screen, and I see the 927.
Okay. I'm glad you're there. Okay, yeah. What else is on your mind today, man? We could talk about something else, but I wanted to make sure you saw that.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, so let's see. Hold on. All right, okay, so as you guys know, we've been documenting the death of multiple rappers ever since the death of Juice WRLD on December the 8th, 2019. There's been at least one rapper, usually more, that have dropped dead every single month ever since then. And so, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, you're coming through.
All right. So for this month, his name is Tayway, Tayway. Tayway. That's the latest. That's the newest murder. And so Tayway was murdered in the Iron Triangle. Iron Triangle. The word Iron Triangle equals 74. Jesus equals 74 and 61. And so we've been documenting the death of at least one rapper every month. Usually it's more than that, since the death of Juice WRLD. So Tayway was murdered in Richmond, California on September the 18th, 2020, 2 days ago. And so 4, we talked about this last week. 4 is the number associated with death. He was murdered in front of the Fort Street Market. The word Fort Street Market equals 187 and 61. 187 is the homicide code in California. made famous by the California rapper Snoop Dogg. So all these rappers are murdered in what we call a Jesus ritual, and Jesus equals 61. So the word, so now Tayway, he often collabed with another local rapper from Richmond named his real name is Sermonte Bernstein, and that equals 84. And Sermonte Bernstein, his rap name was Surdy, and he was another rapper from Richmond that was murdered in 2015. And so Tayway, he had a lot of songs with Birdie. So his real name, Sermonte Bernstein, equals 84. Jesuit equals 84. We talked about how the Jesuits are responsible for all this. The word Richmond equals 84. Drive-by shooting equals 84. So the word Surdy, the rapper who was murdered in 2015, Surdy equals 30 and 60. The N-word equals 30 and 60. The word blood sacrifice equals 67. And Tayway's last album is called Rich City Host, and Rich City Host equals 67. The word Tayway equals 67.
See, that's why if you're a young entertainer, you got to know Gematria. They put one of these numbers on you. Like I said before, you don't want 38 in your rap name. You don't want 67 in your rap name. It's like you're marked for death. Those are death and blood sacrifice numbers, and we see them all the time. And these people die, especially. His name's also Lamonta Butcher. Did you see what his Gematria is for Lamonta Butcher?
Oh, yeah, I was about to get to it.
So that just connects the whole Jesuit thing. 153 and 54, like Jesuit order. And again, this as far back as I know, when I first caught onto the rapper Jesus thing was Tupac's Machiavelli album with Tupac on the cross. That album released on November 5th. Remember the 5th of November? That's the day the Jesuits celebrate, recognize. That's the Guy Fawkes plot day. And again, it's the Society of Jesus, the Jesuits, who are behind all this. So Lamonta Butcher 153 and 54, like Jesuit order 153 and 54. And you said, what was the 61 connection, the Jesus number?
Yeah, it's just the Jesus number. And,
but what was the connection with, it was where he was killed?
Yeah, the word fourth, and I did it on your calculator, not Derek's. Because if you put fourth on Derek's calculator, it counts to 4. So I don't count the 4 because you're not supposed to do Gematria that way. So
right.
I put it in your calculator, and if you put it in your calculator, it's 4th Street Market equals 187 and 61. So he was killed in front of the 4th Street Market.
How did they spell street with just the abbreviation? How did they do it?
No, the whole word. So it's just 4, the number 4, TH, the whole word street, and the word market.
What do I got going on? I don't see the 61 thing.
Wait.
4th Street Market?
Yeah, hold on one second.
If that was it.
Hold on. Market. Wait a minute.
Was it something else?
Yeah, it must have been something else. Yeah.
McDonald Avenue.
Let's see. Hold on.
McDonald Avenue's got that 54 too. Like his name, like Jesuit order. Yeah, it might have been something else you said.
Yeah, it might have been something else. I'll get back to that.
Yeah, it's okay. But yeah, the Jesuit numbers are there, and that's what we're saying. It's got to be the Jesuits who are behind these rap-related... Because why? Because the whole time we've been saying, who would keep doing this with the Jesus rituals on all these young black men? And then when you start to realize, like, oh, you know what makes a lot of sense? The Society of Jesus. They're known as being killers. So...
Yeah, exactly. Well, the word just 4th Street equals 34 and 115.
Yeah, that stood out to me because Jesus has the... what am I doing wrong there? 4th Street.
I don't know where I got that 187 from, but...
oh, shit. No. You had 4th Street Market right. I was spelling it wrong. 4th Street Market is 187 like Society of Jesus, 61 like Jesus, 199 the 46th prime like Catholic 46, like Sacrifice 46. The 4th Street market, where it is actually in Derek's calculator if you include the 4 value. And technically that's taboo, but we've noticed over the years that if you do put the number in there, it also matters. So it's actually with the number at 4th Street
Oh, it's
market.
with the number. Okay.
Yeah, that's
okay.
where those numbers hit.
Okay, so 4th Street market is 187. And so let me go back to the 84 real quick. Jesuit equals 84. Richmond equals 84. Drive-by shooting is 84. And then the 67 part is blood sacrifice 67. Rich City Host equals 67, which was the name of his last album. Tayway equals 67. And he was murdered on a date with numerology of 67. When you add 9 plus 18 plus 20 plus 20, it equals 67 for another 67.
Yeah. Oh man.
And he was murdered on a date with the numerology of 67.
So just to connect how big these rituals are, so on the same day that he was killed, which was this Friday, was the day Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, and Ruth is 67. She died 187 days after her birthday, right? And she died on the 47 date numerology, and judge and gavel and obey and government and authority. That's all 47. And she died on Trump's 97th day of his age, and Ginsburg's 97, and Supreme is 97, just like how he put in his first Supreme Court Justice, Gorsuch, on the 97th day of the year, April 7th, 2017. But again, you got a Society Jesus ritual killing Ruth Bader Ginsburg on September 18th, and then in the world of hip-hop, you have a Society of Jesus killing ritual, and both through the number 187, which is associated with homicide, and again, Society of Jesus is 187, Washington, D.C. is 187. George Washington's 187. Trump's first Supreme Court Justice, Neil McGill Gorsuch, his name equals 187. And now Ginsburg dies again 187 days after her birthday on Trump's 97th day of his age. Ginsburg and Supreme 97. It's just, these rituals are just so perfect, and they all code back to one organization. And that's why I've always debated on if the Jesuits could be at the top, but this year I've become 100% convinced because they put the number 201 everywhere this year, like we were just talking about even in the sports game today, in Matt Ryan's 201st game where he lays a big egg in mocking fashion. And again, it's just the Jesuit fingerprints are everywhere, and it makes sense because the Jesuits were created in the 16th century just before English was standardized as a 26-letter alphabet, just before the Catholic Church gave us the Gregorian calendar. At the same time, Bibles were being numbered. And again, a lot of these riddles sync up with the biblical numbers, just like the riddle with Tom Brady and Daniel and the goat that they used in Super Bowl 53, Religion's 53. And again, man, it's just crazy. So the other thing about 18th, the 18th of the month, is IHS is 18, and that's the Jesuit acronym. It's 18 forwards and backwards. So it was the 18th of the month. You get this big Jesuit ritual. He's got the Jesuit encoding. The location's got the Jesuit encoding. The 187 in front of the market. Plus, it's 4th Street, right? And just the number 4 alone is associated with death. Was he killed in a shooting? Jonathan? I'm talking so much, I'm making Jonathan disconnect. Well, if he was killed in a shooting, what did it say? Gunned down? Shootings 44.
Yeah, he was killed in a shooting. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, in front of 4th Street. 4, the number of death.
Absolutely.
And by the way, Jonathan, one other thing about his name. Tayway, here's a number to know too. Tayway equals 95. You see that? Tayway 95. Remember, the Jesuits were created to counter the 95 Theses written by Martin Luther. And Martin Luther King Jr., a different person who took the name from Martin Luther, was assassinated on the 95th day of the year. And they just had the big Jesuit ritual with Chadwick Boseman and his death on the anniversary of I Have a Dream. Much longer later, you got this rapper Tayway dead. So
no, he was actually absolutely killed in a shooting. And check this out. The word Jesuit order equals 54. McDonald Avenue, when you write out the whole word avenue, is 54 and 81. The word Lamante Butcher, which is Tayway's real name, is 54 and 81. The word ritual is 54 and 81, right? So he was playing a song by Hustler. Hustler's another rapper from Pittsburgh, California. So he was live. So this is what they say. So he was live on Instagram before he got gunned down, and he was playing a Hustler song. The word hustler, the way he spells it, Husalah equals 25 and 38. Killing equals 38. Death equals 38. And the word active leads, plural, equals 38. Because, of course, the police are saying they don't know what happened, but they're pursuing active leads. Like they never know shit, right? So the word active leads equals 38. Murder equals 38. Shooting equals 107, right? And Richmond, California, when you write the whole thing out, equals 107. So Richmond, California equals 107. Shooting equals 107. And like I said, Fort Street equals 115 and 34. So Richmond, California equals 107, and that's one of the most dangerous places in California. Years ago, a rapper named Keek the Sneak, who's from Oakland, he was shot in Richmond. He's not dead though, but he was shot in Richmond. And it's just another example. What we're doing is we're documenting month to month to month. Every single month, we talk about one, sometimes two or three rappers that die. And this is the latest example. Tayway was just murdered 2 days ago, and it's sad.
Were you able to find out what his birthday is?
I'm trying to look that up.
The other thing about his age of death is shooting does equal 107, like you said. It also equals 109, which is the 29th prime, and he was killed at age 29 in the shooting. And I like how the articles try to make it seem like it was because he gave up his location on Instagram, and then some people just found him down and shot him. It's obvious it's a ritual.
Yeah, and then what are the... Yeah, and then, of course, they're saying that... Here, I'll show you what this says. Hold on.
And he's in the Bay Area. And again, San Francisco is this very, very Jesuit city. A lot of Jesuit rituals. And he's got all the Jesuit fingerprints on it.
So here's the story. A popular Richmond rapper was killed Friday afternoon in a shooting that injured two others. He was standing outside of a liquor store on 4th Street and McDonald Avenue. He was walking down 4th Street a little afternoon Friday when the shooter or shooters opened fire from a moving car. Butcher was a longtime Richmond rapper who rose to local prominence in the early 2010s. Last July, he released the album Rich City Host, which we already talked about that. So let me show you what it's... Then it says... He was killed outside the 4th Street Market, and then a surveillance camera was pointed at the site of the shooting from a short distance away. But it's unknown whether investigators have obtained any video. Police have not released any suspect information or vehicle description. A spokesman said detectives are pursuing active leads. And I just told you about the word active leads.
Right. Yeah, the only thing I'd like to know is what his birthday was, if that information's out there, because that'll probably reveal even more. Did you look into any music or albums released by him?
The only one I saw is a Rich City Host. Let me see. Let me look something. There might be some more in here. Let me see. Hold on a second.
No, this is not the same person.
Let's see. I'm trying to see what else he has, right?
Is the rapper rapping for Tay? Is he from the Bay Area too?
Yeah, he's from Oakland.
He might be worth looking into because he's got that Tay in his name, and we know how sometimes these rituals are for somebody else.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
His birthday's out there. His birthday's March 2nd, 68. I just wonder because I can't find the rapper. I don't want to start speculation that could be entirely false, but we got two Bay Area rappers with the name Tay. I don't know what the word Tay means.
and remember that the four is associated with death. So
Oh my
rapping,
God,
rap.
man. You wouldn't believe it, man. You wouldn't believe it.
What
Guess what
happened?
day of the age it was for Rappin' Forte from the Bay Area as well? Just guess. One guess. Hold on.
187.
Well, that would have been a good guess. That it's a Jesuit number. It's the what number were we talking about with Matt Ryan when you first called in?
Oh, 54?
You must be smoking some good shit, man. 201. 201.
201. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he died on Rappin' Forte's 201st day of his age, man.
What?
And Rappin' Forte's 52
Damn.
years old right now, and Pope's 52, and San Francisco is named after St. Francis of Assisi, like Pope Francis. I'm telling you, man, this is what it is about, man. It's just sick how it's sick, man. It's like it's almost like I don't think like Rappin' Forte knows this is gonna happen, but I think like whenever this guy, I want to know where he really got his rap name from, because I feel like when he was essentially assigned that name, it's like whoever did that, like essentially probably had his life mapped up. He's like, okay, Rappin' Forte made a lot of money from us. He's gonna need some sort of offer, and it's gonna be you, Tay-Way. Just wait. I don't think he tells Tay-Way that, but I think it's like that Snoop Dogg Murder Was the Case music video. The devil came, told the story. So
Well, look at this. Rappin' Forte's fourth album is called For the Hard Way with the number 4 at the beginning.
oh my God, man.
And it came out in 97. Death equals 97. And the entire album is dedicated to the memory of Tupac.
Oh my God, man. I gotta interact with the chat real quick. Chat, do you think it's a coincidence? If you think it's a coincidence, press 2. If you think it's not a coincidence, press 1. Is it a 2 for not a... Wait, hold on. I messed it up. Shit, what did I just say? Press 1 if you think it's not a coincidence. Press 2 if you think it's a coincidence. This dying on Rappin' Forte's 201st day of his age. A Bay Area rapper named Tay-Way dies on a more famous Bay Area rapper who's now... He's pretty much retired. Is he still making music? I haven't heard his name since like the 90s.
Yeah, he pretty much retired, yeah.
But all these years later, dead on his 201st day of his age.
Wow. So another 201. That's crazy.
And it's just like that number is everywhere this year. It's like they're announcing their takeover. They're like, it's like, they're like a tagger. And they're like, you're not stopping the 201. 201 run shit now. We'll put it right in front of your fucking football game. While you got Zachary K. Hubbard working 24 hours a day teaching the whole world about 201 and rig shit. Put it right in your face in Matt Ryan's 201st game. Fuck it, we'll even pay his Patreons because they all got parlays with the Cowboys in them today. So crazy, man.
Wow. That's crazy.
Well,
That's
thanks, chat.
crazy.
The chat overwhelmingly thinks it's a 1. Somebody wrote a 201.
Oh, I see the 1. Yeah.
I'm looking. Somebody wrote a 3. That means that I understand the 3 in between. There's a 2 out there. 5. He's off the Richter scale. We got some 2s out there. There's some people who think it's a coincidence. It's probably like daily picks on his 8 different accounts.
Yeah, I see. I'm watching the chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway, crazy, man. 201st day of his age of all days.
That's crazy. Yeah, and then he Rappin' Forte, and then the way Rappin' Forte spells his name, he actually has a number 4 in his name. So, and we talked about that number 4. So let me talk about Trina real quick.
Tell me about it.
All right, so her brother, his name is William Gunk Bain. Gunk is the nickname. So William Bain was murdered on April 23rd, 2013. It's a date with 60 numerology. The M word equals 60. So Ron Dobson.
Hold on, Jonathan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I hate to interrupt, man.
Go ahead.
I'm starting to just understand this Jesuit network and the shit they really do. How fucked up their riddles are. Okay, so he died the same day as Ruth Bader Ginsburg, right?
Yeah.
And remember, Ginsburg equals 97, Supreme 97, Notorious equals 97. You know how they called her Notorious RBG?
Yep. Yeah.
And again, Notorious B.I.G. died in 97, right? And that album
Right.
For the Hard Way came out in 97. And then he dies on the same day. In the front of the 187 mark, she dies 187 days after her birthday. For the Hard Way also has like a reference to the justice system and judgment and incarceration. So it's just, you guys, this is what it is, man. This Jesuit network. And understand, the Bay Area is like one of the most Jesuit places in the world. Washington, D.C., Bay Area, Vatican, the City of London. The City of London is, if you don't know, London's divided into 33 neighborhood areas, like England equals 33, like Masonry, secrecy. But it's divided into 33 neighborhoods. In the middle of it, the middle neighborhood's called the City of London, which is an independent territory, just like Washington, D.C., just like the Vatican. That's why there's 3 stars on the Washington city flag, Washington, D.C., because it's referring to the 3 cities that are all run by the church, by the Jesuits. But this is their network, man. It's just like they're worldwide, and they are fucking crazy, and they kill people ritualistically. It's like that movie, what's it called? Cabin in the Woods, where the college kids go out to the woods to party for the break. Have you seen this movie?
No, I don't think so.
Everyone's got to watch this movie. It's so important, even though it's like a stupid horror movie. But
what's it called?
Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard of that. I heard of it.
Yeah, because it turns out that what happens is college kids get lured to party there by like undercover government officials because they need these. They're underneath the cabin in the woods. There's actually this government facility below there, and they're pulling all these levers to manipulate these kids, so they end up dying on this trip as like a ritual sacrifice. And then at the end of the movie, it explains if they don't sacrifice these kids annually, then the god of this world comes and destroys the world. But it's almost like the Jesuits must believe in something like that, or they know that it's real, the way that they just actively kill people non-stop in these sick rituals with the same numbers. And I'm telling you right now, I already know this is not a coincidence that he died the same day as Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And the Rapid Forte, this whole thing is just, it's the ritual. And there's probably more to it too, pieces we don't even know about yet.
And remember, Rapid Forte, he had a lot of songs with Tupac.
Right.
So,
right.
Not a lot, but, at least more than one.
Wasn't it him that remixed the Spinners song, I'll Be Around? Has he got the hit song
with
that? Yeah.
Yep.
That was a hit. That was his big hit.
That was his big hit. That's right.
I can't think of how that song goes.
Years later, Drake would take the beginning bars of that song and put it on his song. So, yep.
Crazy. But yeah, that came out For the Hard Way. This kid killed in front of 4th Street Market. And you know what? Let's watch out for Rapid Forte, man, because he's got 7 years until he's 59. I feel like that's going to be a lot. See, that's the thing. We're growing up in this era right now where a lot of like, we grew up in a time when there was a lot of black celebrities. You go decades before we were born, there weren't that many black celebrities. Like Jackie Robinson was a rare thing. Muhammad Ali, things were starting to change around that time. But anyway, we're growing up in this time where there's been a lot of black celebrities, and a lot of them are approaching ages like 59. And I just wonder how many of these black celebrities that have been with us a long time, we're going to see them go at ages like this, especially a lot of these people in the hip-hop world. And
Well, Dr. Dre ain't he's not too far from 59. So...
Jonathan, have you heard what we've been talking about with the White Sox and the Dodgers?
I heard a little bit how Dre used to wear the Sox hat.
And then I realized all the NWA wore the White Sox hat. Eazy-E, Ice Cube, they all wore the White Sox hat. And they put out their first album in '88, the year the Dodgers won their last championship. And they just ran...
And doesn't Sox equals 42?
White Sox is 42, exactly. White Sox is 42.
Yep. And there's another album by a rapper named Project Pat, and the name of the album is called, I'm just going off the top of my head, I think it's called Giddy Green. And on the cover of that album, he has a White Sox hat on.
Interesting. Now we know why they got all these rappers posing with the 42 hat. So the thing about the White Sox is they threw the first no-hitter of the year 42 days after the pitcher's birthday and 59 days before the start of the World Series. And the 1959 World Series was the Dodgers beating the White Sox 4-2. And again, we said at the beginning of the year that it was going to be all about George Floyd and Minneapolis and the connection with Minneapolis and L.A. George Floyd was killed on the corner of Chicago Avenue. So I think that and you start to think about it. What's NWA stand for?
Niggas with attitudes.
And what is Black Lives Matter bringing about in a lot of people right now? Is it bringing about some attitudes?
Absolutely.
So it all goes together, doesn't it?
It does.
It all goes together.
It does, yeah.
And then you got the racial piece in there too, because it's the White Sox, right? So you got this racial piece.
Huh. Yep, I just pulled it up. Project Pat on the cover of his album. He has on a White Sox hat. He's sticking up a clerk, and he has on a White Sox hat.
Is he from 3 6 Mafia? Is that who Project Pat's from?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
My friend was real into 3 6 Mafia. I think he had that Project Pat album too. But
matter of fact, Getty Green is the debut studio album. So this is his very first album that came out September 14th, 99, and he has on a White Sox hat. Yep.
Yeah, because that's back when we were in high school. I'm pretty sure my friend, I can still see him with his like bazooka tubes and his shitty truck and the bass breaking the whole truck sound like he's gonna fall apart. But that group, 3 6 Mafia. I mean, first of all, 3 6 Mafia, that's clearly a tribute to 666, but they have that song, I think it's called 44 Killers or 44th Street Killers.
Yeah, I told you about that one. Yep, 44 Killers.
Yeah, it probably was you. Of course it would be you who told me that. You've been giving a lot of good information for a long time. So, yeah, just numbers, how important numbers are. Your name is 3 6 Mafia. We want a song called 44 Killers. I mean, again, kills 44, shooting 44, execution 44, MLK on 44, Malcolm X on the 44 date, Thomas Hagen 44 gets 44 years in prison for his assassination.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing when you look at it. So yeah, so check this out, right? So Ron Dobson equals 44, the number we're just talking about. Ron Dobson equals 44, and he's the one who killed Will Brent Bain. Will Brent Bain was Trina's brother. And so Ron Dobson equals 44. Ron was 27 at the time. The word ritual equals 27. And he killed, the word ritual equals, the word Will Brent Bain equals 78. Trina was born in 78. Drive-by shooting equals 78. Sacrifice equals 73 and 62. Trina equals 73 and 62. Mason equals 73 and 62. Trina's mom dropped dead at 62. Derek Harris equals 62 and 73. Derek Harris is Trina's ex-boyfriend, and he dropped dead right before Trina and Trick Daddy blew up. Derek Harris, his nickname was Hollywood. Derek Harris equals 62 and 73. The word queen equals 62. So her brother was killed on 4/23/2013. That's a date with the numerology of 60. The N-word equals 60. And he was murdered on 91st Street and 24th Avenue in Miami.
So, again, I always call Miami the 13th city. 91's the 13th triangular. I always refer to Miami as the 13th city. They do a lot of 13 rituals in sports. This year they announced that 13,000 fans would be able to attend the Miami Hurricanes opener. 13,000 fans would also be allowed to attend the Dolphins opener. M, the 13th letter. Dan Marino, 13. Tua, Mr. 13, who they just drafted. So 91's the 13th triangular number in terms of the street he got shot on. And by the way, Jonathan, after you're finished with this, has anything happened to her while she's been 45? Because Miami's 45. That's another big number in that city, and she's a Miami rapper. So and hip-hop's 45. I just wonder, like Shade 45, the hip-hop station on Sirius XM. I just wonder what kind of year she could have at age 45.
Well, she's got a radio show on 99 Jams with Trick Daddy.
Is that new?
So they do a local radio show on 99 Jams. It's just a local hip hop station.
And what's funny is when you write out 13 as a word, it equals 99, and in the English extended cipher, Miami's 99. But did she get that show this year, or has she had that show?
She's got it this year.
Oh, at age 45, the hip hop show.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Miami and hip hop.
Yep.
Amazing.
So, yeah, it's crazy, right? So, so let's see. Okay, so he got murdered on 91st and 24th.
Oh my God! Do you know what day Trick Daddy's birthday is?
September something.
He's got the same birthday as Lil Wayne, the Jesuit birthday, September 27th.
Yep.
So he's 45 this year too. He's about to turn 46, and he better watch out when he turns 46 because we know all about that number too. So.
Yeah, what a birthday! Hey, but there's a few people with that birthday. Yeah, there's a few rappers with that birthday.
Well, again, if the Jesuits are running the industry and doing all these...
Isn't T.I.'s birthday on that day?
Who?
T.I.?
Oh, T.I., I don't know. You can have whatever you like. I hate that guy.
Yeah, I know. So do I.
Like, he is just... Like, how did you become famous? You're not even talented. His birthday is September 25th. He's got the right birthday for Black Lives Matter. That's the day the What You Gonna Do When the Power Grid Goes Down album comes out.
Huh. What about... Isn't Young Jeezy's birthday on that day too? September 27th?
I don't know, but I'll look it up. Young Jeezy. He's one day off. He's September 28th. But it is interesting. He's 42 right now. Well, he's about to turn 43. Yeah, they're just barely off the mark, but they're in the vicinity, so it's interesting.
Yeah, like close enough, right?
Yeah.
Huh. So he got... Oh, okay. So he was... Check this out, right? They're saying Bane was fatally shot around 9:30 a.m. for a 93. So Trick and Trina, they were signed to Ted Lucas. Ted Lucas is the owner of Slip and Slide Records, and Trick and Trina and Ted owe their friendship to Trick's older half brother. Trick's older half brother, his name is Hollywood, and that was Trina's ex-boyfriend. So this is Trick Daddy's older brother, Trina's ex-boyfriend, and Ted Lucas, the owner of Slip and Slide Records. They owe this relationship to Hollywood. So if it wasn't for Hollywood, none of these people would have ever met. So Hollywood drops dead. Trick and Trina blow up, and so that's one example, right? So Hollywood drops dead right before Trina and Trick Daddy blew up. Then in 2013, her brother Wilbraham Bain drops dead, and then what happens on September 3rd of last year? September 3rd, 2019, her mom drops dead, right? And Trina's mom. Right. The word sacrifice equals 62. Trina equals 62. Cancer equals 26. She died from cancer. Trina equals 26. The word kill equals 44. Cancer's 44. Chemo's 44. Right? And she drops dead. Trina's mom dropped dead while Trina was 44 years old.
44, man.
All right, so now her nickname, Trina's mom's nickname is Nessa, Nessa. Nessa equals 58 and 77. Secret Society equals 58 and 77. And then again, we just talked about the number 13, right?
Right.
When Trina's mom dropped dead, this was 13 weeks before Trina's 45th birthday. And we're talking about Miami, right? The 13th city. And if you type in Miami in the calculator, it's 45. The word 13, when you type it out, equals 45. And the word Nessa, which was her nickname, Trina's mom's nickname, equals 13 for another 13. And like I said, Boonk got shot on 91st Street.
In 2013, right? 91, the 13th triangular. I just measured from her birthday to his death. It was 20 weeks and 1 day after her birthday. 201.
After Boom got shot?
I just went back and looked at a brother's killing on April 23rd, 2013.
Yeah.
That was 20 weeks and 1 day after her birthday.
Oh, wow. Huh. And then remember the word hip-hop equals 45. That's why I shave 45.
Right.
That's why the biggest rapper in hip-hop is Lil Baby. Lil Baby equals 45. And so this is it right here. This is going to close it all out right here. This is going to kill all the conspiracy theorists. This is the clincher right here, Zach. The day her mom died came 74 days after Trina's June 21st album release called The One. The word The One equals 67. Blood sacrifice equals 67.
Rapper killing 74. And again, they bring these numbers together so often. It's like Machiavelli, the way Tupac spelled his rap name at the end. The play on Machiavelli, 74. Cross, 74. Jesus, 74. Gospel, 74. Parables, 74. Messiah, 74. Again, all these Jesus riddles with rappers. So 74 days after her album, her mother was killed?
That's right.
I think
74 days.
If I remember right, I think they killed Martin Luther King Jr.'s mother in a big 74 ritual too. And,
74 days, yep. And there was something else I want to say here. But, okay. So just back to Tayway real quick. Tayway was killed in what they call the Iron Triangle. Iron Triangle equals 74 for another 74. Rapper equals 74. Killing is 74. Masonic 74. Occult equals 74. And Tayway was murdered in the Iron Triangle. Iron Triangle equals 74. Jesus equals 74. And it's really sick. Really sick.
We need to get, you know what we need to do? I know that you can get retired rappers. I actually have a friend in Arizona, and what he's been doing is he's just working a few times a year, but he's organized. Well, he's not doing it right now because everything's shut down. But this guy was, just to tell you about this guy. So I met him in college.
Yeah.
He was a Mexican dude. He was a few years older than me, but we were in the same classes together, going to school at the same time. And this was a dude who used to sell drugs, and he got his throat slit and left for dead, and he survived. And he had this big scar on his face along his neck, and it's just like amazing. It's like, how the hell did you survive with that bad of a cut? But like he'd say, I was meant to live on, and he was a cool guy. But anyway, what he does now is he arranges these events, and he'll go and get like a rapper from the 90s that people know the name still, like Rappin' Forte, and he'll pay him like $10,000 to come out and perform for an hour. And then he'll have the event where people come, and he'll promote the event, and he'll sell drinks and food. And even though he's spending $10,000 to get that guy there for the hour, it gets so many people buying the ticket at the door and getting the drink and all that he makes a fortune. And he's just doing this a few times a year. But anyway, I'm just getting the idea. I'm like, maybe that's what we need to do with like a rapper like Rappin' Forte and blindside him and be like, hey man, you know anything about this ritual with the death of Tay? They probably wouldn't admit anything, but I would love to be able to talk to him right now and ask him if he knows anything about this. We need someone to spill the beans so all these young men don't have to keep dying. Somebody's got to step up. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think somebody like that would be willing to do it. I mean, because he's not really relevant in the rap game. He doesn't make that much music anymore. So I don't see, what does he have to lose? You know what I'm saying? That's why.
Well, maybe his life. That could be the thing that he has to lose is his life.
Well,
but here's what I was. If I didn't make the idea clear, I'm saying like we should have an event where we pay like old musicians. Imagine that like you pay 3 old hip hop stars like from the 90s. DJ Quick, Rappin' Forte. You could just mix it up. You get 3 guys from the 90s because this is what he do. He gets guys like this, and they all charge about $10,000 to do like an hour or 2 hours of music. And but again, it's worth it if you can get the turnout and you have the event. But imagine that, like, as a community, we put the money together to get, like, some old hip-hop stars from the 90s, have an event like this to raise money, and they can perform music, but also we actually want them to, we'll let them know in advance, maybe. We want them to come and talk about what they knows going on in the industry because we're documenting these things and we're trying to speak up for young artists so people don't keep getting murdered. If we get some hip hop art, and maybe some of them would even just be willing to do it, but again, I think a lot of them might be worried for their own lives, and that's probably why you don't hear many people speak up about things. And again, for all the people who don't understand why there'd be a network of killers ruling things, think about how you would stay in control. What is everyone ultimately afraid of? Pretty much getting murdered. That's the one thing probably most people don't want at the end of any type of deal or agreement. And if there are rules, and again, think about, Masonic orders and wearing blindfolds and having the men in the fraternity hold like a dagger or a sword at you as you say the oaths, and the symbolism is, hey, if you go against these oaths, remember, there's a group of guys here who had you at knife point. So, I don't know.
I like it. I think that's a great idea.
We got to do something like that. We got to figure out some way to get a big event and some truth and bring, we got to figure out something like that. So.
And that's also a way to fund money for the, for the movement.
Sure. It could be if we were paying 3 rappers for a big, or maybe you just do 1 rapper at a time. Maybe, and it doesn't have to be a rapper. There could be all sorts of musicians you could pay to. You could do all sorts of musicians. We're trying to find somebody who wants to get paid and also wants to speak and share some information, bring some light on what's really going on. Again, the reason it would make sense in hip hop is because there's so many hip hop related deaths. It's just overwhelming.
Yeah, it is. But that's what I'm saying. I made a video a while back saying that hip hop is the most dangerous profession that you can go into. Now, my nephew's 19 or 18 actually. He's about to be 19, and he's rapping. And I just, he loves to rap, and I just tell him, whatever you do, just stay independent. You don't need a record label. You could just put your music directly on these streams, on these services, Tidal, Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, YouTube. You don't need a record label. So, he's rapping and I want to support him, but I don't want him to sign a deal with Def Jam or Atlantic Records or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm scared for him, I'm actually scared for anybody trying to, to me, it's like, okay, if you're going to do hip hop, do it because you love it. That should be just for anything in life. Whatever you do, you should do it because you love it, not just, so of course people are, a lot of us are forced in a position where we're forced to do a job what we don't like, but if you're going to do hip hop, you're going to do rock and roll, you're going to do soul, jazz, whatever music you make, you shouldn't be trying to make music just to get a record contract. You should do it because you love it. That's my theory.
Well, I think just what happens is, these guys get brought in and then they get offered all this money and fame and everything that comes with it, and then they're essentially made to compromise themselves. Oh, you wanted to do that song about this? Instead, you're going to do a song about this. This is going to be the name of your album. This is actually going to be your rap name. And then I think they're like, well, if I'm not doing this, I'm back to whatever, working in the warehouse, and I guess I'd rather be a millionaire.
On the corner selling crack.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
I think that's just how they... Because, people act like it's a mystery how so many people are bought off and whatnot. It's like, how can this be a mystery? Money controls people. That's true for most people, so...
Yeah, that's just what I was saying about, if you grow up in the hood, you ain't got shit. You never had shit, and now somebody's offering you a $500,000 signing bonus, and they're going to give you $5 million when you come out with 6 albums in a 3-year time frame, and you don't got shit, and your mom doesn't have anything, and you live in the hood. Think about it. It's the same thing with athletes. You don't. What do you? But they're not realizing is that you're signing your name on that contract, and you're putting your life on the line. Right.
And most people aren't having any consideration about that it's so dangerous to become an entertainer that you could become a ritual sacrifice. Because this isn't knowledge that's within the mainstream.
Exactly.
That's why it should be. Because it's obvious that it's what's going on. How many more times have we got to document it? So.
Yeah, every month since last December. We've been... And if we go back to before Juice WRLD's death, I could probably find a death for every month of 2019. Okay. Of course, the biggest one was Nipsey Hussle last year. And then the year before that, the biggest one was XX Tentacion.
Right. Yeah.
So what's going on with the Seahawks game? I see you got it up on the screen.
Oh, I'm just going to see how they're going to finish it because I'm real curious about this game. So 39 seconds left. That's Russell Wilson's number, born on the 39 date numerology. The other year he beat the Steelers on his birthday, scoring 39 points. But I'm thinking about it. So I see that the first touchdown of the game was a 43-yard interception return, and Seattle Seahawks is 43, just like how they won their only Super Bowl 48 with 43 points, beating the team from Colorado 43, and Seahawks is 48. But I'm curious because this one, it's like, oh man, it was iffy. But whoever, I'm hoping they get a symbolic score here. If the Patriots rally and score a touchdown, there's not much time left. Let's see. Right now, there's 39 seconds. They got one timeout. It's 1st and 10 at the Seattle 36. If they scored and won the game, they'd get. Well, actually, I take it back because they'd probably kick a 2-pointer if they scored.
So what? It's 35-30 right now.
It's 35-30 right now. 65 points.
So the Patriots are down.
Patriots are down. Right, there's 39 seconds left. 1st and 10. They took a timeout. They're at the Seattle 36. They're 36 yards from the end zone. Well, what just happened? Cam Newton passing complete deep right to Edelman. Seattle defense holding 5 yards.
Hey, well, check this out. With that Cowboys game, I didn't watch it, right? But I just wanted to check the score, right? And then I saw that the Falcons was up 39-30 with like 2 minutes left, right? It was like 2 minutes and some change, and I was like, I'm not really worried about it, right? And then I was like, it looks bad, but I'm not really worried about it. And then I come back and check it like 30 minutes later, and yes, Cowboys 40, Atlanta 39. So I'm like, how did they score 9 points in 2 minutes? Like,
exactly. This is what I want to say. If the Patriots do come back and win, I was thinking at first they could hit their symbolic 37 because Patriots is 37. But if they score, what's interesting is they go for 2. So the score would, if they do score here, the score will likely end up being 36-35. And then if they go for 2. I'm going to see what happens here because they've been doing some Tom Brady 73 rituals this year. And there's a riddle with the Patriots in Seattle because Pete Carroll used to coach for the Patriots. Now he's the Seahawks coach. But if the Patriots pull this out here and get a 2-point conversion, it'll be another 73 thing they've done this season. And think about Tom Brady. So I'd actually rather not see the Patriots win here and do that because if they do a 38-35 thing here, again, 73 points. Think about what Brady's Super Bowl record could be. So I'm really hoping it's not the Brady narrative this year.
Not again.
I'm really hoping it's not the Brady because Brady's connected to all this. He beat the Seahawks in Super Bowl 49. His teams beat the Panthers before. Now Cam Newton's there, and they're doing some 73 stuff. So they're making it a nail biter finish. 2nd and 10. Clock stop. 9 seconds on the Seattle 13.
The Patriots got the ball right. Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah,
I see. But you know what's fucked up? How they making Teddy Bridgewater look like shit.
Well, on the Black Panther team.
Yeah.
So if the Seahawks hold him here and they don't score, it'll be 65 points, which is the George Floyd number. George Floyd's 65. George Perry Floyd's 102. 102 days left in the year. The one thing I could say about Seattle with the George Floyd stuff is the autonomous zone, which was the protest for George Floyd and Black Lives Matter that made national news. That was in Seattle. So, yeah, I'll figure out what they're doing here one way or the next. But this was one of the tighter games of the week. So,
yeah, that's why I didn't want to touch it.
Yeah, we had enough good games today, and like you made the right decision. You said you turned 50 into over 500 today, so
yeah,
nice.
I mean it was awesome. I mean, and I picked games that I felt confident in. Like I didn't feel confident in this game. Like you know what I noticed too is like the early games, they're always, to me it's like the early games are easier to predict than the afternoon or the night game, because whenever I hit a big parlay, it's usually. Right. Well, I'm in Vallejo now, so I'm in Vallejo, California. But it's always the early games that hit more than the afternoon games.
I agree.
Have you noticed that?
We definitely noticed that the early games seem to be better in terms of the scripting than the games late in the day. And a part of me wonders if that could be something about like the way they script the games to make sure Vegas wins at the end of the day. They're like, okay, this stuff happened in the beginning games. now these second games are on a flex. We got to make sure we pull in the money here. It could be like the tighter scripts are in the morning games because it really does seem that way from all the years of decoding.
Yeah, but you're right. It's almost like, okay, we lost money in the early games. Now we're gonna flip the script in the afternoon game to get the money back. That makes sense.
It could be like that because there's definitely for anyone who's followed me for years, people know that people have said that many times before. They're like, Zach, you kill the morning games, and sometimes the afternoon games really kick your ass. And I'm like, yeah, I noticed that. I kind of scratch my head at it too. So, what else? But remember, 3 years ago, the primetime games were always the easiest game. It was like in the last 3 years they switched it up.
I remember that. Yeah, and I remember that.
I really think it's because of the work we've been doing, exposing stuff that they were like, okay, we got to step up our scripting game. So
okay, I see the Seahawks just won.
I see it. Did they just win? It looks like it finished at the 1 yard line, huh?
Yeah, right. He was right there. That was a dumbass play though. Like, why didn't they just throw it? Or I don't get it. Like, I just turned it on.
Well, that must have been the script. So you know what else is kind of sick is the Patriots go down with 30 points, right? We know what 30 is. That's the other side of 42 because today's Slavery Day, right? Slavery's 30 in 102.
102 days left in the year.
The N-word's 30 in 102. We had the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury 30-42 ritual at the beginning of the year where Fury got his 30th win beating Deontay 30, and Fury stayed on 42 wins against Tyson 42 in February, Black History Month. So Cam Newton scoring 30 on the Slavery Day, so he goes down. And, I got to think more about that because there was a lot. Again, this game was 132 days after Cam Newton's birthday. And T'Challa, the name of the character from Black Panther equals 132. He died 132 weeks after the movie came out. So now Cam Newton loses 132 days after his birthday as Mr. Black Panther. And what was it about? So, and God, there was something about Russell Wilson. I was talking about how Michael B. Jordan's the actor in Black Panther that's the nemesis of Black Panther. Oh, and I was saying how Huey P. Newton has the same birthday as Michael Jordan. I got to think about this. They did some big riddle tonight, and I'm not totally putting it together yet. But I need to sleep on it, so I think we'll figure it out.
Huh.
Some big riddle here. And again, it was 201 weeks after the last meeting, which the Seahawks won. Just like how Chadwick Boseman died 201 days after Michael B. Jordan's birthday, the actor in that film. And then at the beginning of this week on Monday, Bill Gates in Seattle, his father died, and Bill Belichick's mother died on the same day. Both in rituals. And then, the Patriots are playing in Seattle, Bill Gates City. So there's some monster ritual with this. I must have.
But that ending right there was just like in the Super Bowl when Seattle played the Patriots.
Oh yeah, at the goal line. At the goal line.
Yeah, at the goal line. He throws the ball and click it out.
Oh my God. Hold on. What was the? I know. I gotta find my notes. I know that I wrote down something about 49 in this game. What did I write down about 49? I wrote Patriots beat Seahawks in Super Bowl 49. Why did I write that? I know there was a 49 up on the board in this game.
Okay, and then this game ends on the goal line, and you should just see the end of this game. I see why you get mad. That's why I don't watch this shit either.
What? Oh, get this. Russell Wilson tonight got his 49th home win, man. And that was Super Bowl 49 where he lost on the goal line. Wilson got his 49th win in the regular season tonight. Yeah.
Wow. Number 49. Okay.
But see, this is why I was torn on this game, because there was things like that, and I was like, God, but he can also get the 42nd loss, which would fit in with the slavery thing. And I see, you know what else? You know what's real? See, I honestly, when I look at this script on these games where I'm torn, now that I'm looking at this, Wilson was 87-41 coming into this game, and Seahawks is 87, and 12th man is 87. Or no, never mind. 12th man's 122, like Sales on the 122nd man. But look at this. He was 87-41, right? And today's the day leaving 102 days left in the year. Slavery is 102, 87, and 42. So imagine if Russell Wilson lost. I'd be saying right now, like, and of course, slavery's also 30. Like Cam Newton went down with 30 tonight. I'd be saying, well, I guess it's not a surprise he lost on the slavery day, becoming 87-42 in the regular season. But notice they didn't go with that narrative. And I really think games like this, they could be double coded, so either way they fulfill the ritual. And then later in the game, they probably have another game that's a flex game later in the year to even it out. Because I think that I don't think they mess with the team's overall win and loss records if they're part of the narrative. We know how symbolic those are usually by the end of the season. But yeah, this game was just so back and forth with the coding, but ultimately, Russell Wilson got his 49th regular season win, like how he lost in Super Bowl 49 at the Patriots to the goal line. It's just...
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And for people who forgot the goal line ritual, go back and look up the box score, Super Bowl 49. I remember it like it was yesterday. Russell Wilson's 21st pass got picked by number 21 with 21 seconds left on the down 2nd and 1 on the date 2/1 February 1st. And the word pick equals 21. And this year I was in Louisiana educating about rig sports, and I was actually wearing a custom-made t-shirt with all those stats about the Super Bowl, how it ended in Super Bowl 49 with the Seahawks, because I'm up here in Seattle. So I was wearing that shirt around the Seattle airport and talking to a lot of people. But the word pick equals 21. In the first I was wearing that same shirt at the Super Bowl this year in Louisiana, where it's not as interesting because people don't care about the Seahawks as much. But the first interception of Super Bowl 54 was to number 21. Pick 21. So
21.
I had the perfect shirt on for it. It was like, okay, perfect day. So.
Can you believe Frank Gore's still playing?
And what's so funny about Frank Gore is when he came out of college, he already had all those surgeries, and they said he wouldn't have much of a career. There's no way his knees were going to hold up. He's like the longest running back ever.
Today he had 21 rushes for 63 yards.
21.
He's still Frank Gore. He's Frank Gore's from Miami, and in Dade County history, he's the number one running back. And remember, I told you the competition in Miami is crazy. But he has the most rushing yards. He has a record for the most rushing yards out of anybody in Dade County history. So he was in high school. He was a beast, and his son Frank Gore Jr. He's a beast. His son Frank Gore Jr. He was playing. He was years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, he was playing Pee Wee football. And he was running so many touchdowns. He ran like 5 touchdowns in like the first half, and he had something crazy like 300. He had something crazy like 400 yards. That he was running Frank Gore Jr. I'm talking about. His son was running the opposition over so much that the coach had to take him out the game.
Great. Yeah, I mean, the thing about Frank Gore is he really does know how to run low. He's got good balance, man. I mean, he's always impressive to watch. He's another guy with real talent. Hey, look at this, man. I just noticed that Cam Newton scored the last touchdown of the game with 2:16 on the clock. And again, this is the kind of stuff that blows my mind because the Black Panther film came out on February 16th. It's 2 hours and 16 minutes long. In the movie, there's a freeze frame where they're looking at a security cam and the time on it is 2:16. And, God, I want to say that... I got to double check, but I want to say that Cam Newton's like first home game... Maybe it was first game of the year after that movie came out. I want to say that Cam Newton's first game was 216 days after that game. And again, from the day that Black Mamba died this year, Kobe, to the day that Black Panther Chadwick Boseman died was 216 days. So what are the odds that Cam Newton scores the last touchdown of the game with 2:16 on the clock? It's just like what are the odds that the Patriots scored the only touchdown in Super Bowl 53 in the 53rd minute of the game, right on the nose? So...
Wow. Another 216.
It's just like it blows my mind. It's like how do they pull it off? How do they do it?
Yeah. Wow. Somebody in the chat said that Gore has a 63 numerology, and he had 63 yards today.
Frank Gore equals 63. Let's see. Frank Gore.
Boy, 63 numerology. That's what somebody in the chat said. I didn't look at it though.
Oh, Gore equals 63. 63 yards, 21 carries on a Sunday. Sunday 21. Jesuit 21. Detroit Lions fans still crying from last week. 21 straight points by the Bears in the fourth quarter. But
wow. Yeah.
Oh, you know what else? I'm thinking of something else with this 65. Damn.
Okay.
Bill Gates is about to turn 65 years old. Pandemic 65, George Floyd 65. I think that Paul Allen died at age 65. And again, he co-founded Microsoft with Bill Gates, and he died the day after Pete Carroll became the winningest coach. Pete Carroll seems to beat up on the Patriots with the Seahawks. He used to coach for them. Let me see. Paul Allen, I'm pretty sure he died at 65. He was born in 53, died in 2018. Yeah, he died at 65.
Yep, that's right.
So there's something up that they're doing with these rituals with, again, Bill Gates is going to turn 65 October 28th. And again, big number with the pandemic.
By the way, I saw you put Gore in the calculator, 45 and 27.
Miami.
That's Miami, 45 and 27, and he's the number one running back of all time.
Yep.
Out of Miami in high school.
Just like McDermott got his 27th win today over beating Miami 27. So, yep.
Paul Allen, yeah.
Paul Allen owned the Blazers and the Seahawks. And he always looked miserable. I always looked at that guy my whole life and was like, how can he always look so miserable? He sits courtside at the Blazer games. He owns the sports teams. He's super rich.
Billions of dollars. It's the same thing with Eli Manning. He just looks like, I don't even want to be a part of this shit. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, he always has that face. He always had that look on his face. Like, I'm so sick of this shit. I bet you right now Eli's glad to be out the league.
Yeah. I bet he was too. And remember, we were talking about that before the year Peyton Manning won that rigged Super Bowl. And one of the storylines after Peyton won Super Bowl 50 was how Eli, as he won it, turned his back and walked out of the press booth like he wasn't even happy. And the media was like, is Eli jealous? It's like, I don't think that's it. I think he's just like, God, people fall for this bullshit. My brother can't even throw the football anymore. People, come on.
He could barely walk.
Yeah, man. I still remember his first pass of the game. 18-yard pass from number 18 Manning in his 18th season, number 81. The game started that way.
Well, that's the first video I ever saw of yours.
Oh, my God.
And
it was just ugly.
Immediately.
That pass was just nasty. Just wobbling all over. That's what they call a wounded duck when you're throwing the ball like that. It's like you don't even have the velocity to make a spiral.
But that's why your prediction of Lamar Von Miller winning the MVP was so good because everybody knew Payton wasn't going to be the MVP. You know what I'm saying? So that was, I mean, you would think most of the time, okay, the quarterback's going to win it, but he looked so terrible that year that it made sense for Von Miller to win it.
Indeed. Hey, by the way, Jeremy's listening. He just texted. He's like, remember, James White for the Patriots, his parents just died before the game, and the surname White is 65 as well. So that's probably part of it also.
And James White from South Florida.
Again, people will never understand. I mean, I shouldn't say they never will. Some people will understand, but it's sad that so many people will think it's a coincidence that the big news was Bill Belichick and Bill Gates losing their parents on the exact same day before the Patriots play the Seattle team. And I need to go back and... Hold on. Was it October 14th? Let me see. October 14th, 2018, box score Seahawks. If this is Seahawks over Raiders, this is the right game. It is. So this is the game where Pete Carroll became the winningest coach, October 14th, 18, and then the next day Paul Allen died. And I just wonder how many days it is from that game to this game, since, again, Bill Gates lost like his main guy in the computer industry. Now he loses his dad. There's some deeper riddle going on here, so I'm just seeing. It's exactly 101 weeks, man, and it's the 101st NFL season.
Wow. 101.
Yeah. There's something to this. There's definitely something to this. 101 weeks right on the nose. From the game where Pete Carroll became the winningest coach to, again, beating the New England Patriots. Again, Pete Carroll's coached 3 teams in his NFL career. The Jets, the Patriots, which have a historical relationship with 9/11, and the Seahawks, who also have a historical relationship with 9/11 because the construction firm that built the World Trade Centers in New York is from Seattle. And again, Seattle.
And he's always beaten the Patriots other than that Super Bowl. Seems like
I think that's the only time he lost to him is in the Super Bowl, the game that counted.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I know.
and again, for people to think the Patriots are legit, none of their Super Bowls are legit. They're all a joke. You don't think the Seahawks would have just ran the ball in if it was real?
With the strongest, most powerful running back in NFL history,
like literally, who does not lose a yard, who gets a yard every time. The Seahawks had a timeout, time to run the ball. I mean,
but remember the play? Didn't the play before that he got like 5 yards, right? If I can remember.
They weren't going to stop him all year. That's what he
Yeah,
does.
exactly. And it was only second down. I don't. If listen, that's after that game, I lost a lot of friends. But I was telling them, okay, I don't care if I don't care if it's second down, third down. I don't care if it came down to fourth down. I'm giving the beast the ball on second down, third down, fourth down. I don't give a fuck. If I gotta lose a game like that, then I'm losing a game like that. But I'm not going out like a sucker and throwing the ball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With the strongest, most powerful running back in NFL history.
Indeed. And as you're talking, you just sparked another thought. Think about this. The Seahawks game 101 weeks ago, you know who Pete Carroll became the winningest coach against? It was the Raiders. It was the Raiders, right? The Raiders. And they used to be in the same division. They used to be in the AFC West before they moved things around. So that's an old rivalry, the Raiders and the Seahawks. And I think Bo Jackson was injured against the Seahawks now that I think about it. But look at this. So that game was the Seahawks versus the Raiders, right? Today's game was the Seahawks versus the Patriots. And I'm losing my voice. We all know that the Patriots' Super Bowl legacy began with the tuck rule against the Raiders. And now Brady's playing down in Tampa Bay with a new Pirate team. But remember, who's the Raiders now? The Raiders are the Las Vegas Raiders, right? And they play tomorrow night, hosting the first game in Las Vegas. And they're now the only team in the NFL where the full name equals 101. And they're playing their first game in Vegas tomorrow night on the day leaving 101 days left in the year. And you just had this riddle between the Seahawks and the Patriots. It's actually synced up also with their record-setting game with the Raiders. Again, you guys, this is why when you learn Gematria and you start to study how they're scripting the games, like that somebody right now is probably listening that has the $1 million thought to fill in the next piece that I'm not thinking of. But again, that's why sometimes like I see a riddle and I got to think about it for a few days or maybe over the course of a week or another news story comes out and I'm like, that's what it is. That's what they're doing with this. But you'll realize every single week is a perfect script. And understand when the Seahawks beat the Raiders in this game, it was in Wembley Stadium, even though it was a home game for the Seahawks, because the NFL plays some games in London now. But Wembley Stadium equals 206. That's the Seattle area code, 206. And when they beat the Raiders in this game, it was exactly 206 weeks after they'd last played. And it was just so easy to see that was the ritual. It's like, okay, all this 206, obviously the 206 teams win. And just like how Zach Taylor fell to 216 as a coach, 2-16 in Cleveland, to start the football week. Cleveland, the 216 area code. Again, you got to know the numbers with these teams, and you'll just see what they do. But at the same time, some things can be tricky, because like I laid out, there's a riddle there. If Cam Newton would have won tonight, he could have also picked up his 74th career win next week over the Raiders with the strong 74 connection. But that's why, just knowing, like, years ago, I probably would have just fell for that hook, line, and sinker. But now I know sometimes you got to make sure in the iffy game that you get past that before you can come to that next conclusion. But yeah, it's just amazing, man. It's amazing how they sync it up.
So are you leaning Raiders?
For what? Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not, man. I got it.
Okay.
But here's the thing. There's a big 93-33 ritual on the board if the other team wins. The Saints and Monday Night Football is 93 and MNF is 33. And normally those are really good numbers on Monday Night Football, especially since Gruden equals 93 and 33, and he can be the guy who goes down who used to call the Monday night games. And it seems like since he's returned to the NFL, he hasn't done too well on Monday nights as a coach. And I think that's all part of the joke since he was calling games for years on Monday night. But because it's the Vegas debut, and I'm just like, God, all that 101, could they give him a W or?
Right, just to get the people in Vegas excited about,
right? So
the new team.
Exactly. So I don't feel real good about messing with the Raiders games right now or the new Washington football team games because they're new this year, and I'm going to try to see what numbers seem to be the consistent numbers with them. But I wonder if we won't see 26 points scored possibly tomorrow in tomorrow night's game just because 101's the 26th prime, maybe by the winning team. They like to bring those numbers together too. And yeah, we'll have to see. So.
Okay, cool.
Home teams were 0-2 on Monday Night Football last week. They both lost. because there was a doubleheader last week. Home teams are looking for the first win on Monday Night Football. And home teams are 2-0 on Sunday Night Football. Rams won last week in the 13 ritual, and Seahawks won this week. And on Thursday Night Football, home teams are also 2-0. So,
Did you see Saquon Barkley out for the year?
Well, for the Giants?
They say a torn Achilles, that is what I heard.
Huh. No, I didn't know that. I did not know that.
And that was another game that came down to the wire. The Giants were driving at the end, and they basically blew it. But that one came down to the wire. I saw a little bit of that.
Interesting.
But it's looking like the Madden simulation might be onto something because the Bears look pretty good right now.
I'm checking something real quick. Okay, I just so here's a riddle. I'm gonna have to do more research on tomorrow's night, but I just wanted to count up what the home and away records are for this week. And right now, home, this could be in trouble. I'm just noticing that home records right now are 10-5 for the week. Home teams have won 10 and lost 5. If Vegas won their debut in this big 101 ritual, home teams would be 11-5 and Nevada's 115. So, again, I don't know what numbers are going to play for the Las Vegas Raiders because that's the way it is. You realize that in these ciphers, sometimes for some teams all the numbers seem to matter, but some teams it's like, okay, that number never plays for them, so just look for the riddles with these. But, like, you see something tomorrow night, like the Vegas wins their first game and home teams do become 11-5. Remember that about Vegas games going forward. Because, it could be week 16 and a team could be coming in 11-4 versus Vegas. Well, you're going to remember their home opener where they won and they made home teams 11-5 for the week? Well, look, if they beat this team tonight, they'll fall to 11-5. So again, that's also how you learn. You observe and you go, okay, I noticed that there's a 115 pattern when games are played in Vegas. I don't know that that's the case yet, but it could be. So,
so sometimes it's good just to document. Like last week, I didn't even bet. I just wanted to watch.
You didn't want to take that Bears riddle or the Breeze. The Breeze had all those Jesuit numbers to beat Brady. And
I could have. Those are the games I would have went with if I was.
Allen had a good riddle last week. Remember Allen for the Bills? He had a great riddle to win. He won, and the Jaguars had a great riddle to upset. They paid 3-1. So again, those were the strong games last week, and they came through. Those were the best riddles last week. The biggest disappointment last week. Well, I can't really say there's a disappointment because Rodgers was coded to win or lose. But I'm actually glad the Vikings lost that game because it really sets up the narrative for them to get Kaepernick. Have you heard me talk about that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I hope they do that, man, because people... Yeah. It just kills me that YouTube deleted those 2 live streams that were nearly 8 hours of content that we did the first 2 days of the George Floyd stuff because I was on all night talking to people about that. We talked so much about George Floyd, the PSYOP, sports, Colin Kaepernick. And now it's not like I can go back and say, see, here's those videos from May 26th, May 27th. Google deleted them again. So,
well, yeah, that's, and the thing is like, Cousins, they let him win a playoff game last year. He'd be the perfect person to look bad, at the beginning of the season, and then they bring Kaepernick in. I can see it happening already. Because they try to make Cousins look inconsistent. Like, he'll be real good one game or 2 games. He'll go on a stretch where he's good for 3 or 4 games, and then he looks really bad for like a game or 2 or 3. So I can see them playing that ritual with Cousins and saying, hey, Cousins, he's off to a bad start. We might have to let Kaepernick get in here. I can see that.
Hey, by the way, I forgot about a 115 that is important to the Raiders. Raiders equals 115.
Oh, wow.
So, man, see, now that's tough too, man. Even though that's there, I'm still... Because I know that if the Saints win, the 9-3-33 ritual plays, and those numbers play a lot on Monday Night Football. Again, Monday Night Football's 93 and MNF's 33. But now seeing this 115 thing, so anyway, you just remember if the Raiders win tomorrow, you pay attention as the year goes on. Good chance that there's a big 11-5 ritual with the Raiders when that can happen. Because you'll just see that patterns that start in the beginning of the season, they follow through the season. And as I'm saying this out loud, I just want to see who the Raiders' last game is against to even see if this would make sense. But yeah, that's interesting that they can make home teams 11-5. Well, they play the Broncos at the end of the year. Maybe they could finish the year 11-5. The Raiders themselves, they could have an 11-5 year. Could make some sense.
Yeah, I can see that. Raiders and Nevada at 115. Huh.
Yeah. And remember the hip hop group, the Loonies, they got that song from over a decade ago about the Raiders going to Vegas. Jonathan, do you want to take any calls?
Yeah, Martin said he wanted to call in, and I told him
this might be him right
I'm
here.
on Skype.
This could be him. Let me see. Caller?
Hey, what's up, Zach? It's Martin.
That sounds like Martin right there. Hey, Martin, I need you to send me
Martin?
your Patreon again, by the way, please, when you get a chance.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So I heard you were talking about the Raiders game tomorrow.
Yeah.
I had some notes for the Raiders game, and great job today too. You did really well. So, but yeah, remember, like, if you go to Drew Brees' stats right now, if you pull those up, and then remember how I told you how to look at his other stats, and he can for the Saints just specifically.
Right.
Tomorrow he can.
He Drew Brees got some riddles, but go ahead, say what you're gonna say.
Yeah, he can get his 50-second loss, and you know how we've seen in the past.
Oh, that's a Raiders number. That's a Raiders number, 52.
Yeah, and this is the first day in their the first game in their stadium, correct? In the new stadium.
Wait, where did you see that he can get the 50-second loss for Brees?
For for the Saints. Remember I told you to go to his.
Oh, I bet, because I didn't put in Brees' Oh, so I'm missing the postseason games.
You're missing his record for the Saints, just the Saints.
Well, I got him at 134-83 with the Saints and 61-46 away.
You have him at 134. And what do you have him at? Because
134-83?
Yeah, for the regular season, correct?
134-83, right?
Yeah, but if you look at his all-time overall record for just the Saints, he should for away games he should be 63-51.
So that's got to be including the postseason, because I got him at 61-46 away. These are his, I think, regular season stats. So I'm missing his postseason. So he get his 52nd all-time away loss, and that's a Raiders number. He could, you know what? Now that I think about it, he could also get his 47th away loss in the regular season, and Nevada's also 47. So this whole thing could be, and he'd stay on 61 away wins, and Las Vegas Raiders is 61. So yeah,
it's not even the kicker. But the other thing is the fact that, like, this is the first game in their new stadium, and the stadium was built on July 31st, and from that date to this game is exactly 52 days.
Oh, but yeah, Raiders in 52. Well, one of my favorite riddles of all time today is where we saw the big upset with Derek Carr beating the Chiefs in a huge 52 ritual. And it was, if people remember this game, it was Monday Night Football, and it was back when we used to actually get views. And so a lot of people saw that video, but we said it was going to be all about 52. Derek Carr would upset the Chiefs. People thought that was a no way because the Chiefs were the favorites in that game and looking a lot better. But you might recall there were like 1,000 flags thrown at the end of that game to set it up. So what was it? Derek Carr's 50-second pass was the game winner. Yeah?
Yeah.
I remember.
Okay. So
it was ridiculous, too, because they had no time left in the clock, and they were still having down plays. Like,
I remember they just kept throwing flags to keep the game going. It was like, look at how many mulligans they're doing to get this right. This is crazy.
No, but
it's just like today's Falcons game. It's like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, indeed.
I got a friend that's a Falcons fan, and I'm like, dude, you still a fan of this? You still a fan of the NFL after what they did to y'all in the Super Bowl? And then what happened today? You still believe in this?
Indeed.
It's crazy.
I got to update my notes. Yeah, good catch, Martin. On his overall stats, he could get that 52. Man, I'm still torn on this game, though, because, man, those Monday Night Football numbers are there for Brees also. But, God, it does kind of feel like it's more about the Vegas-Nevada ritual, so we'll see.
So he can get his 50-second loss?
He can get his 52nd away loss. Raiders 52.
Well, this is something.
Hold on, Martin's trying to say something real quick. Go ahead, Martin.
Yeah, this is something I'm also looking at too, because I believe they're gonna talk about it, because like they used to be in Oakland for a really long time, and I think it's officially like 25 years, and then they relocated to Vegas, and Derek Carr can get his 25th win. I think it's 25th home win, and that's like the reflection of 52. So what I'm seeing is a whole lot of 25s and 52s, and I'm hoping that they bring up this story about how the Raiders were in Oakland for 25 years. Because that'll give me some type of indication that they might be following the Raider riddle, and then Derek Carr can get his 25th win and stuff like that, and John Gruden get his 51st all-time win with the Raiders, and this is the first official Monday Night Football Super Bowl 50. I mean the season of 51, the modern era.
Indeed.
So, like how last year. Yeah,
Indeed.
So those are things I see.
So, Martin,
this is the biggest
Martin,
thing too. Yeah,
I want to interrupt real quick for people who don't know that Martin is a longtime helper in this community. He's on the Patreon active. He's doing his own decodes now. But he's another great researcher, and he finds this stuff. And just like Jonathan, they're making their way with this. And again, you guys, to see that it's no joke what we write about, look at what I wrote for this Monday night thing. Told people, wait until you have the home and away records for week 2 to see if a clear narrative emerges. Because again, a lot of times games are this way. You'll notice in the final game, it's like, wow, if this team wins, it sets up the riddle for the whole week. And right now, because of the way it's lined up, they have set up a nice riddle for Nevada and the Raiders in the first ever NFL game played in Nevada. So anyway, go ahead, Martin. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, and if you type in the Gematria, if you type in the Raiders new stadium, I think it's called Alley Giant. I think that's how you Alley Giant Stadium. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. But because they keep showing these stats when I look at all the sports shows in the morning. So they said Saints, I think, are 16-7 on Monday Night Football, and Alley Giant Stadium equals 168. So it could look like they can get their loss. Saints and Drew Brees. Like under Drew Brees and Sean Payton, on Monday Night Football, they're 16-7, and they can get their 8th loss and make it look like 168 because Alley Giant Stadium equals 168. That's just something I'm not saying that's going to happen, but you can see what I'm saying. 16-7, then 168. So
the 177 is a big Jesuit number. 177.
Is it?
Yeah, big Jesuit number. 177. Yep.
Okay, that's good to know. And I was going to ask you, and just so you know, this is a keynote that I remember from last year. So if the Raiders win some fluke way, they will get their 500th franchise all-time win. So I think that's another thing that has some type of weight. Because right now they're on 499 because they won week 1. So they can get their 500th, all-time franchise win, which is a big thing because in the notes that I have, they mentioned, something that they thought the Raiders were going to do in 2019, but they're doing it. I think they're going to do it in 2020. Obviously, they're going to have more than one win. So I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but just know the next win for the Raiders is going to be the 500th all time, and I think it's going to be some type of ritual. I thought it was going to be this game, to be honest, because the 52s I see, and this is a new stadium, this is a new team, new year, and everything. So I thought it made sense for them to win tomorrow because of the 500. But if it's a Saints riddle and you said 177 is a big Jesuit number, then it's really hard to go against the Jesuits number. But you've seen all the other 61s, and Drew Brees could stay on 61 wins, and et cetera, et cetera. But
the thing that also stood out to me before the riddle set up for tonight with the Nevada, and I'm feeling it's tough, but whoever wins this game will take a lead in the series 7-6-1, which is a lot like 761, the 135th prime, just like how they did that riddle with Jackie Robinson, who was in the 761st Tank Brigade. And anyway,
John Gruden equals 135.
And say what equals 135 again?
John Gruden.
Oh, John Gruden. Ah, good one. That's right. He has the Philadelphia. So that could be John Gruden taking the 7-6-1 edge. The thing about Breeze is
look at Breeze. I know, yeah.
He can get that 135th win.
So
see, I'm starting to think again, this is my problem. 3 years ago, Monday Night Football was never like this. I used to just do it for free and just look, it's like this, you guys. Rarely did I ever miss primetime games. And they're like, damn, you're like almost perfect for the whole season. Primetime football used to be so easy. And then about 3 years ago, they started like double coding every game, and it's like, how the hell is this even possible? So Some of the
I remember that video too, because you were like undefeated on primetime games. You look forward to it. You know,
they were the easiest back in the day. They were so easy. They were so easy. And then all of a sudden they got like this. It was like, oh my God, how is it coded like this? This is impossible. So John Gruden.
Yeah, because even because I told my patrons, I thought even the Bengals had a riddle this Thursday because they could have got their 140
No,
seconds
Martin,
away.
no, not with that 216 on the board, man.
I saw the Browns riddle too, but you know how 142 has been really big this year.
Well, that's true, but man, they don't play around with the 216 in Cleveland. You can't fade the 216 in Cleveland. They love that too much.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even see that riddle until you put it in your video. So.
Okay, yeah, Zach Taylor fell to 2-16. So that's okay. We all make mistakes.
I don't have as much time as I want to decode, but you know what I mean. Like I decode when I can. I put the notes and I add to it and stuff like that. But I wish I had more time to be able to do this full time.
It's okay, yeah, Martin. We got to figure out a way for you to do it full time. I'm telling you. People who don't know Martin, man, Martin is so good at his research, and apparently he missed the Zach Taylor thing, but I'm not going to hold that against him. But yeah, he does amazing work. But Martin, what I think about though is this year when I'm trying to get everyone to pledge $1 so that we can have enough resources to hire 5 full-time employees and like work in an office and roundtable and tackle things and put it together. I'm telling you, we could take this work to a whole new level. We need like a tech pro and a few more researchers, people like Martin and Jonathan.
I agree.
It would be amazing, man. It would be amazing if we had a full-time job. And to me, I don't know how you feel about this, but I want the people I work with. I want to work in the same building with them because I lose something when I'm through the computer. I like being in the room with people, and it just. I mean, we are working like this through the phones right now, and I guess even just doing it that way could be a way to start. But I just feel like if we were all on board, this was our salary, this was how we worked, this is what we did. Man, we would take this work so far in record time.
I think easily too. The funny thing is that I think the more like minds that come together, I think it will be a lot better sooner than later. If we had people in the same room. Indeed.
Yeah. And see, just like you caught the thing here that I missed. I mean, this is the advantage of having multiple people doing the same thing too, because you check things. I missed Breeze's all-time record with the Saints. And the fact that he can get that 50-second loss does stand out because we know there's some serious Raiders 52 rituals. So I gotta admit though, for all my people out there that won a lot of money today, I would still be careful with this game tomorrow because that 93-33 thing's there for Breeze. But yeah, there's a lot here for a big Raiders ritual. So I think if Raiders win this game, they'll finish the year 11-5. The Raiders win tomorrow's game. That's their record this year, 11-5, I think.
Hey, that might be a really good bet. But no, honestly, and I have what you call a Monday Night Football record, which is the Raiders, they're 40-29 all time, and Saints is 22-22, which really doesn't help because Las Vegas equals 23, so it can go both ways.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
But there is a 30-day numerology tomorrow, so they could get their 30th loss in Monday Night Football. The Raiders, that is.
Yeah, it's not a one-way street this game, but I tell you what, Raiders win. I'm projecting them for 11-5 this year.
Okay. No, I would respect that too. I mean, I think, and I try to look at the coaches and see if it makes sense on their final record or even the quarterback. Like it's obvious, Sometimes I think they make it a little too obvious when we know the numbers. Like sometimes the riddle shows itself, but when I feel like you have to look for the riddle, that's when it can get a little shaky. But when the riddle shows itself after you decode it for so many years, it's pretty easy.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, great research, Martin. I appreciate it, man. Great information.
No problem.
Anything you want to say to Martin, Jonathan?
You want me to send it?
No, that was a good catch.
Yeah.
But I still don't think I'm messing with this game tomorrow, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't. It's still dangerous. We're going to learn something tomorrow. See, that's the thing. You don't have to bet every game. Sometimes you just sit back and you learn and you go, okay, I'm going to be watching for that 1-1-5. I'm going to be paying attention when it's 115 days from people's birthdays versus the Raiders. There can be some signs.
Mm-hmm.
So.
No, yeah, I appreciate it, though. But do you want me to send you my Patreon in an email, or do you want to just drop it in the chat?
No, can you message it?
Hey, can you drop it in the chat so I could, because I want to check it out too.
Yeah, okay, type it in the chat, Martin. I'm watching the chat right now for it. type it in the chat, and then I'll link it on my Patreon too.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that.
Of course. Dude, I was trying to get you on there months ago, but I don't know. You must have been busy. You didn't get back to me quick enough, so.
Hey, Martin, are you charging? I don't mind paying. I'm just asking.
It's $3 a month. It's only because I can't get
I don't mind.
much
That's
information as I want.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I just dropped it in the chat though. I mean.
Okay, I got it. I'm gonna link it. I appreciate it, Martin. Thank you.
But no, I think before I get off, I honestly think like Jonathan's one, Kayla's one. I haven't really talked to Rod or what's the other guy's name that's really good.
Victor.
Victor. Yeah, I haven't really talked to him personally. I hear them call in sometimes, but like I feel like I know Jonathan more personally because he's called into your show. He's always on TFR as well. And Kayla, I talked to her more so in the chat as well.
Yeah,
but
she does great
those
work.
three so far, the other two gentlemen you talked about, and the guy who texted you, I forget his name. What's his name? He always finds really good information too. He's always in the chat. He's a mod. You said he texted you earlier.
Mod always in the chat that helps out with the sports stuff.
I mean, he just helps out with everything with you. I mean, he's like one of your go-to guys that you always say, what you call it, always has really good information. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now, but he texted you like earlier, just a little while ago. You said, what you call it, text me and said that.
Jeremy White, man.
Something.
Jeremy White. Yeah.
Jeremy, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Jeremy, he does really great stuff too.
Yeah.
I don't know why I couldn't think of him. But
Indeed.
yeah, those are the people that come to mind when I think building teams. You know,
That's why I'm saying.
those
That's why
people.
if the money would have come in, it would have been easy to get a team of people. And there's even more people in the community that are good, but there's so many people who'd be willing and perfect for it, and who've already put in the time.
Absolutely.
So that's why it's killed me that this year, you guys. Part of the reason I've been working I've worked my ass off every year. But if people haven't noticed, man, I've been putting out like a million videos through this entire pandemic to wake people up what's going on. I'm also trying to motivate people to support the cause so we can build this new studio and take it to the next level. Because I really need somebody who can help me out with the technical shit. Not as bad as Jonathan, but man, because I'm Jonathan's TI guy, and that's not good, man. Or is that even I don't even know what it's called. IT. But yeah, man, it's just like. Yeah, we need somebody who can help us out with the tech.
Yeah, we need some help on the tech side, for real.
Yeah, man, so...
Didn't you have a guy call in not too long ago and say he could do some graphic designing? He might be good with tech stuff. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, but yeah.
Yeah, but, man, seriously, there should be people out there supporting $1, man, because this needs to happen, and $1 a month ain't shit. And like I told you guys a year ago, I said, man, we're coming up on some serious shit here. We need to get the word out. Help us out. This $1 a month could save your ass. You guys didn't take me seriously, but I'm telling you, it's true, man. If we got the word out on this knowledge, it could literally change the world, and that's what needs to happen.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get off. And I appreciate that, Zach. I mean, so do you? Your live streams are usually on Saturday, right? Around 6
for football. I've been starting at 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern.
Okay, cool. That's good to know because I would like to be able to, contribute. So, but all right, Zach and Johnson, appreciate it.
All right, have a good night, Martin. Keep up the good work. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you. No problem.
All right. You gonna start your own Patreon?
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, you do it too. So, yeah,
I'm thinking about it.
The only problem with having everybody start up their own Patreon and promote them, as I've done, is what it's done is it's broken up the community, and now we don't have as good of callers in one show. So, and that's kind of what makes you go, see, rather than promoting people and helping them make some money because they deserve it, which I'm happy that's happening for them. I mean, that's what's great. But it's like, in a way, I'm breaking up the community and the good network of communicators. So, because we're all doing our own separate shows and... So...
Well, I got to check out Rod and Victor's page. I ain't even checked it out yet.
Yeah, but they're doing good work too, man. And, yeah, I bet... Yeah, so... Anyway, yeah, they're really good with the research, and Rod's got the good instincts, so... Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say tonight?
Nah, that's it. I'm going to let it go.
All right, yeah, we can wrap it up here. It's getting late because it's already after 9. So.
Yeah, I'm on the West Coast too now. So. Yeah.
All right.
It's crazy because I don't know. You might think this is weird, but whenever I'm on the East Coast, it seems like time goes by so much faster. It seems like time goes a lot slower on the West Coast. I don't know why, but I just noticed that.
Well, damn, I wish I had that same problem. So maybe I need to move to the East Coast. Maybe it'll be the opposite for me. I feel like I need 10 more hours each day. So.
Yeah, it just seems like the East. It's just they're just so much far ahead of us. It seems like the time goes fast out there. I don't know.
You want to take? Somebody's been calling in all show. Should we take that call? Let's see. Let's go out to North Carolina real quick before we sign off.
From
What's up, North Carolina?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
Hey.
So Super Bowl 49 and then Russ's 49th career win.
Russell Wilson got his 49th home win tonight at the goal line against the Patriots.
Right. I noticed that Russ's stack log was 12 for 21, and that's like the whole 2-1 thing going on. And then like he had 210 yards, I think. No, he had 247 yards, and he was two touchdowns, 1 interception, like 2-1. You know what I'm saying? And it goes with the whole thing. Yeah, but that's that. But the score, the total score for Seahawks in both games, 24 and 35, which is 59.
Crazy.
And then the Redskins from 1927 to 2020 is 73 years.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, hell yeah. And yeah, that's about it, man. I just thought I'd point that out.
Appreciate that. Good observations. Thank you.
Already.
All right, take care.
Yeah.
All right, we can leave it there. That was a good show. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for letting me get on.
What was the name of that rapper again? Tayway?
Yep, Tayway. Tayway.
I gotta go document that. So.
Oh, hey, but next week, I guess. Okay, so when the Public Enemy album drop,
Friday,
I'm gonna listen to it, and next week we'll talk about it.
Sounds good, man. Hopefully they didn't turn the power out, because then we won't. But
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, hopefully the grid won't go down. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, for people who don't know, next week Friday, the Public Enemy album comes out. What you gonna do when the grid goes down? And they got Arizona on the cover art, and they have the song from back in Apocalypse '91, which came out on the day leaving 91 days left here. When I get to Arizona, and Janet Napolitano, who was a politician in Arizona but is really from New York, like Public Enemy's from New York, she said the next 9/11 will be the power grid going down. And remember what the World Series was after 9/11? Arizona and New York. And again, that album comes out on Chuck D's 56th day of his age, and Power Outage's 56, Black Lives Matter's 56. Candace Owens, who's getting a lot of recognition in the black community as a black conservative, just wrote a book called Blackout. And I was making that point. I was like, Black Lives Matter, Blackout, Darkness, Riddles. Remember, the album comes out on 25/9 on Chuck D's 56th day of his age, and Black Lives Matter's 259 and 56, just like Power Outage is 56. And yeah, we know they're doing serious rituals with these numbers. Again, I said to watch out for Portland, Oregon on September 11th, because it was 106 days after their Black Lives Matter protest started, and Black Lives Matter's 106, and I Can't Breathe's 106. And on September 11th, the headline was that Portland had the worst air quality in the world because of all the fires burning around the city 106 days after the protest began. And I Can't Breathe is 106, and they're bringing in all this toxic smoke. Dude, there's some sick stuff's going on in the world right now. So,
hey, that's a good catch on that World Series, Arizona and New York after 9/11, right?
Yeah. That was right after 9/11. I was a freshman in college, and this kid who went by the name Stewie from New York, who was a rich kid, he bought up all these Yankees tickets, and he made a fortune. I was like, that's how the rich get richer. This rich asshole kid can buy up all these tickets and then sell them for even more for the World Series. And I was like, damn. See, like, I could have never dreamed of that. I didn't have that kind of money. He was bragging about how much he spent to buy all these tickets, and I was like, spoiled ass kid, man. Life's different for you.
For real.
Yeah.
For real.
His dad, I still remember, he was a Jewish kid, and he was right in the hallway across from me, and I just moved into my dorm, and I was putting away my stuff like in the corner, organizing stuff, and I felt that there was somebody standing behind me, and I turned around, and there's this man with his arms folded, and he'd walked in. I had the door open in the hallway just because people were moving in just to like greet people, but they didn't come in and say hello. He just came in and stood behind me, and I turned around, and it was this Stewie guy's dad, and I was like, okay, that was weird, just come in here with your arms folded and stare at me. He's probably like looking like, who's this kid living across the hall from my son? You know what I mean? But I mean, seriously, like, come in and say hello. Like, who just stands behind somebody? So
Yeah, that's weird.
And then it turned. So I mean, not to get into a whole other story, but this Stewie kid, he was selling pharmaceutical pills, and what was funny is the dorm room next to me. We used to always make fun of them because they were roommates and their names were Adam and Steve, like how people will say the world was made with Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve. But we had Adam and Steve next to us who were the weed dealers, and then we had Stewie across the way selling the pills and all sorts of ways to make money. But I just remember, man, just the way his dad came in and looked at me and like didn't say hello, and I was like, that was weird. Now I understand things more, but anyway.
Huh. Hey, you went to Arizona State, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Terrell Suggs was there when I was there. That was the most dominant football player I ever saw with my own eyes. It wasn't even funny watching him play in college. Like, nobody could stop him. Every quarterback was running for their life every single play. Terrell Suggs was a monster. So.
Yeah, he was. Even in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Terrell Suggs. There were a bunch of NFL players on that team. Andrew Walter, who became the Raiders quarterback. Todd Heap. Archuleta.
Guess where he's from? Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah. There's a dude who was a kick returner and receiver for a minute, McDonald. I can't even think of his first name now. But I couldn't believe that he made it in the NFL. He was fast as hell, but he could never field the punts, man, and he was our punt returner. He would always bobble it, drop it so often, but it didn't matter because once he picked it up, he was just so damn fast. He'd just like get a decent gain every time. He'd like, look at this guy. He can't even catch the punt, but he's our punt returner. And he made it to the NFL, too, so... Forget that dude's name. Something McDonald. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, great show, Jonathan. I appreciate it.
Yeah. We'll do it next week.
All right. Yeah, you take care, man. Have a good night.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, you guys. I think we can leave it there. That was a good show. And... if you missed, you guys got to go to Jeremy White's clip, JHW3D. He caught this in the game today. Here, let's just close out with this one more time. And today really was Matt Ryan's 201st career win. He gives up the epic comeback loss, just like he did in Super Bowl 51 against the Patriots. James White scored the winning touchdown in Super Bowl 51. His parents died today. The Patriots lose at the 1-yard line to the Seahawks. And Russell Wilson gets his 49th home win, like how he lost in Super Bowl 49 at the 1-yard line. Understand, all of this stuff is scripted ritual together. And to remind you who's in charge is the Jesuit order who loved the number 201. Matt Ryan went to Boston College Jesuit School, lost to Boston. Patriots in the rigged Super Bowl. And today, in his 201st game, they have the audacity to do this. Watch this. Watch this. Thank you, Jeremy, for recording this.
Is beating the NFC East, right? And you look at the quarterbacks in the NFC South. It's crazy. Matt Ryan's in ninth, the most yards, passing yards in the history of the league, and of course you got.
I like how, I'm going to just put it back up here. I like how they have Matt Ryan on 54,000 and some passing yards for this ritual too, because Jesuit orders 54. Remember, John Carroll's 54. He established the first Jesuit university when he was 54 years old. And you know what? I think Boston College is also 54. Yeah, Boston College is 54 and 144, just like Jesuit order. So you got your Jesuit Matt Ryan. And again, the Jesuit order, 201. Huge number with them. And watch, they're about to do this 201 ritual. It's just... And you just know this stat about 201 is just straight bullshit that they're about to do. All these numbers matter, but I'm just watch the 201. Look at it, man. 201 laps around the stadium is how many yards it is. And then watch this. Watch this. Bam. Oh, I was a split second with the pause there. Right when they go to it. 9:27 on the clock, man. That's the Jesuits' Day, September 27th. That's Arthur Blank's birthday, the owner of the Jesuit, or the owner of the Falcons, who owns Home Depot. His birthday is September 27th. Just like the Jesuits were recognized by Rome, they go right to Matt Ryan at 9:27, in his 201st career game. And here, I'll pull up the QB win-loss record. Again, I don't think this will be updated yet, but you come back tomorrow. I guess on the East Coast, it's already tomorrow. Unless they already did it. No, they haven't done it yet. Matt Ryan, again, today was his 201st game. These were his stats coming into the game. 113 and 87. And here, just to, here, I guess I have it documented here in my notes. Matt Ryan's 201st all-time game. He comes in 113 and 87. Dallas 113, Cowboys 87. And again, we favored Dallas in this game. The Falcons falling to 4-9 all-time at Dallas makes the most sense because Dallas is 49, NFL's 49, and America's 49, America's team. So, again, same thing up here in the notes. But it was all scripted for Dallas to win, just in crazy fashion. Just like the Bears won in crazy fashion last week. They had a good script to win. But, wow, the 201, I can't get over the whole thing that they did here. And then Jonathan comes on to talk about the death of this rapper Tayway, and I'm like, wait a minute. His name reminds me of Rappin' Forte, the famous guy from the Bay Area. Let's just see how many days it is from Rappin' Forte's birthday to this guy's death. Happens to have died on the 201st day of Rappin' Forte's age. I mean, you guys, and in the Bay Area, which has all the Jesuit connections. Again, you guys, the New World Order is real, and it's the Jesuit order and all the shit they control, which is government, sports teams, corporations, big tech companies. Jesuits are running it. And mocking you, literally all the way to the bank. My God, the stuff they get away with. All right, you guys. Appreciate all of you, and until next time.